Hello, hello. Hello, hello, lovely viewer. Hello, lovely viewers. How are you doing? How are y'all doing? I bet. Hold on. Okay, perfect. Yeah, yeah, I should be loud enough. Lovely. Good, I should be loud enough now. But yeah, how are you guys doing? Just playing a little bit of Mega Bonk, you know? And just want to discuss um what's happening in modern gaming, especially with the Switch 2. I feel like people are really downplaying the severity of how horrible that console is, but that's just me. Mm. So, one thing I want to discuss is, you guys are probably seeing the title and you're like, yo, why are you saying that it's better for the Switch 2 to fail? Well, I say it's better. Let me banish one of these. I say it's better because um, the Switch 2 it will hold back gaming, not is will. Um and because like I say that because you know how we went through a whole PS5 generation with PS4 games, literally even Sony's own games, PS4 games, right? Hello, another lovely viewer. How are you doing, man? But do you know why? Like, why would we want to go through another generation where we basically have to support another damn PS4? You know what I mean? It's like that, and I think I'm being generous when I say that the Switch 2 will be a portable PS4 because we are seeing the downfalls. The downside of the games running on the Switch 2 is basically another Nintendo Switch. You know, where games are running at 30 frames, they look ugly. Like it's the same thing basically. Yeah, I think I'll just do that. Yeah, you know. And it's just like that's not good. And we need to get. I mean, I think console gaming in general is holding back gaming, period, right? Even it doesn't even have to be by hardware, it's also like by the games, right? Like look how like the amazing variety that does well on PC/slash Steam, right? You have this random game that came out of nowhere. This game I'm playing right now, Mega Bonk. You have this game right now that wouldn't even no one would even look at it as a piss in the ocean on console, but with PC, it's like, yeah, a game like this could do well. Why could it do well? Because of the audience, right? The PC has a vast majority of people who play games with a vast majority of hardware, right? And you just don't get that. You don't get that with consoles. What's popular on console? FIFA, Call of Duty, Madden, the same thing, really. The same games that are popular. Now, of course, those games are popular on PC too. I'm not going to pretend that they're not. But can we just, not act like that there isn't more games on PC that's popular, unlike console? You know? Ooh, lovely. Hello, guys. Jeez. Are we gonna act like that those games would be popular on console? Absolutely not, right? So yeah, that's the thing. It's like I feel like console gaming in general um is holding back gaming. Now, if we're just talking about the Switch 2 though, I feel like it's definitely doing that because we just got out of a generation of the PS4, of games running on the PS4. And now we're going back. See, I'm gonna go with luck. And now we're going back. Like seriously, we're basically going back to a platform that has a PS4. And why am I saying that? Because now third-party games are gonna have to run on the Switch too. Come on now, man. Come on. That's kind of concerning, right? I don't want that to happen. You don't want that to happen. We don't want to deal with another friggin' PS4. Don't get me wrong. Like if a game is a PS4 caliber game, regardless, it's fine. It's okay. I don't care what game comes with the to the Switch 2. But if it's held back because of the Switch 2, and you guys know what I'm talking about, right? It's like no, that's not good. Like yeah, great. Now we potentially have another generation where we're gonna be held back with a console that has the power of a PS4, if even that. If even that. And then like another reason why I don't want the Switch to succeed is because look what president it's sending, right? Sorry, I can't talk right now. Look at the president that it's sending. You know, the Switch 2 is bricking or Nintendo, sorry, not the Switch 2 itself, but believe it or not, but like Nintendo themselves, they're bricking consoles because they deem that you're doing, illegal stuff on there when you're not. You're just doing unofficial stuff on there, which is not the same thing. It's really not. Like, because someone used a MiG Switch cartridge, which, by the way, Nintendo never said it was not allowed, and even if it isn't, fuck off. It's people's hardware, you know? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Just weird. Like, it's none of anyone's business what you do with your hardware, you know? You can make it into a fucking toaster if you want to. That's none of anyone's business what you do with your hardware, but apparently Nintendo disagrees. And it should be illegal, but you signed a contract. Fuck you and your contract. That should really be illegal. I mean, I'm happy Brazil is doing something about it, but it doesn't seem like anyone else is, really. Oh shit. Sorry, I'm not paying attention. Yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna do well here. Ooh, you know. And by the way, this game, as of now at least, is a PC exclusive. It's not even on consoles. Yeah, I wonder why. You know. But yeah, like look what Nintendo is sending to like to other hardware manufacturers, especially because if the Switch 2 does well, you think that the Switch 2 is going to be the last console where they're going to brick it? Are you kidding me? No. Your PS6 is going to do that, No matter what hybrid it's going to be, your PS6 is going to try to do that. Your Xbox X squared, whatever it's going to be called, right? Is going to do that too. They're going to break your console if they feel like you did a no-no, right? Yeah, gaming is such at least mainstream gaming. Here's the thing though, even if this mainstream gaming gets bad on PC, it's not PC gaming, PC game, here's another reason why I don't want consoles or the Switch 2 to succeed. It's because PC gaming has so much freedom and so many ways for you, ooh, yay, for you to, oh shit, it has like so many ways of you to experience games, right? So let's say if Steam gets bad, right? I have so many other things to do to play on my PC. Fan-made games, emulators, all sorts of things. You do not have that. You do not have that luxury with console. Good luck, you know? You're not gonna get that. Do that. Let's see now. Mhm. Let's see. Yep. I'm trying to level up the tomes because I'm trying to whatchamacallit. I'm trying to unlock a weapon which will unlock characters. But yeah, so it's just like no, I don't trust Nintendo. I don't trust any of the console manufacturers to do a good job. And it's like, yeah, I bet Sony and Microsoft will break your next consoles if you do the same thing, you know? So, yeah. And like, and if you want evidence on that, look what Microsoft is doing to people on Xbox Live, for saying no words that you used to be able to say in the 360 days. You know how horrible that is? That is very, very sad. You know? If you dare call someone a certain slur, you're done. You're kicked off of Xbox Live. What kind of stupid shit is that? Honestly, Now I'm not saying that censorship doesn't happen on PC. It does, but that's not because of Steam or whatever. It's because of it's because of the game makers themselves, like the people who are running the servers or I'm sorry, the developers are running the servers and stuff like that. They're the ones doing it, not Steam. You know, Xbox with Xbox Live, they're banning your Xbox accounts for saying those naughty words. It's just ridiculous. Oh shit! Thought that was gonna unlock something. Mm. Was it this? I don't know if it was. So yeah, so that's what I don't like about it. And then yeah, the Switch 2 in specific, Well, you think that they're not going to ban your? Oh wait, they do already ban your Nintendo account. But what if you say something on the Switch too, right? Or you dare to find a way to put another profile pic on your thing? Well, goodbye to your Nintendo Switch account. Goodbye. You knew it very well because you're not going to get your Nintendo Switch account back most likely. You're honestly better off emulating your Switch thing, right? Like you're better off emulating the Nintendo Switch, the BIOS and everything, right? And just running on your PC. That's how bad it's gotten on the Nintendo ecosystem. And it sucks too. I really wanted the Switch 2 to be good. I did. I did want the Switch 2 to be a good console. But Nintendo had other plans, obviously. Oh, but yeah. Oh, I'm dead. I'm dead. Yep. Shit. But yeah, like, yeah, it's pretty clear that Nintendo had other plans, and that kind of sucks. So, yeah. I mean, fuck you for wanting freedom on your own piece of hardware that you bought, right? I mean, the sad part is they don't even let you, um, they don't even let you play your online for free, and yet they're going over here and banning your shit and everything, which isn't a problem on PC. Make that another reason why I don't want consoles to succeed, any of them, especially the Switch 2. But yeah, it kind of sucks because when the Switch 2 was unveiled, I was really hoping, especially when Nintendo was going in the power route, right? When Nintendo was going into the power route, I was really hoping that the Switch 2 would have been the best console to release modern, the best modern console to release. But no, the Switch 2 is a shitty glorified Nintendo Switch Pro, which I asked for before the Steam Deck came out, and we didn't get it. No, we got some stupid Switch OLED, and that's what made me, get a Steam Deck instead, right? It's like, okay, I'm done with Nintendo at this point. I feel like no one really saw this character. I still need to kill two more enemies, or 200 more enemies with him. Okay, I'm gonna do that. But yeah, you know? Hold on, let me check something. I just want to see at this point. I feel like no one really saw this character. I still need to kill two more enemies. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I'm loud and I'm heard, you know? Uh, but I don't hear the game. Oops. Let's raise that a little bit higher. Or 200 more enemies with him. Okay, I'm gonna do that. Hello, hello, hello. I still need to kill two more enemies. Okay, cool. Just want to make sure I'm loud and I'm heard, you know? Uh, but yeah, okay, cool. It seems like I am. I'm good. Alright. Hope you guys could hear the game too a little bit. But yeah, so I don't like any of them really. I don't like Nintendo, I don't like Sony, I don't like Microsoft. They all screwed up. Like I tried really going to each console and they did not give me what I want, And here's a funny thing too. I don't need that. Here's a funny thing too. I really don't need the Switch. I'm sorry. Like I never really went fully into an ecosystem. Never did as a kid, right? Like I love the Nintendo 64. Then immediately after that, I went to the PS2. So I was never really a complete fanboy. Well, until the Wii era. But even then, it's like I loved the Wii because of what it offered, not because it had Nintendo's name on it. So the only reason why I was a fanboy is because I kind of defended some of their stupid shit, and pretended that Super Smash Bros. Brawl was the best game in the world. Which, to be fair, I felt that way. It's not like I was like saying that because Nintendo made it. So it's not exactly fanboying, I guess. I was just overreacting, I guess. Yeah. Oh, this is actually pretty good. This is actually pretty good. Luck Tome. I don't get it though. When I put it to level 10, it should have done it. It should have unlocked something. But yeah, like what do you guys think though? Do you guys have the Switch 2? Are you enjoying it? I don't know. Put it in the comments below. Me personally though, I don't think that the Switch 2 is healthy for gaming whatsoever. Absolutely not. I know, kind of yelling into a wall here, but It's true. You know, I don't feel like the Switch 2 or any of the consoles, the modern consoles really, are good for gaming. And like, look, here's another example. Look at the price hikes right on consoles right now. Now, of course, price hikes happen on PC parts, but you have a lot of ways of getting PC parts. When it comes to consoles, you know, people take advantage of the fact that Sony and Microsoft are upping the price. You know, with PC parts, it's a little bit harder to take full advantage of that. You know, it is because you have to because you have a lot more options. You know, unlike consoles. With the PC parts, okay, say if someone is like scalping the NVIDIA, okay, well you could get the AMD, you know, you could get this graphics card, that graphics card, maybe an older graphics card that isn't being, you know, like fucked with anymore, right? Like it's an old graphics card. So I just feel like, you know, PC has a lot more ways around that. Meanwhile, consoles, nope. If Sony and Microsoft and Nintendo is making the prices the way they are, well, everyone else is too, even third party. You know, GameStop, third party, they're all doing it. So, yeah, it's not good. Yay. Mommy. Go away. Go away, bully. Alright. But yeah. So, Nintendo, they suck, hee hee. By the way, that projectile speed will make this attack faster, I guess. Yeah, so... Yep, so... I don't know, man. I don't know. It's like, I kind of feel like if console gaming goes away, gaming will get better. Absolutely. Because, here's why. Like, developers, look, they're really making their games around the rule set of consoles. You know? So, what do I mean by that? There's a reason why games are $70, yeah, $70 right now, and they're trying to go to 80, by the way. Nintendo's trying to set the precedent of $80 games when they don't deserve 70, or even 60 in some cases. Like, isn't that fucking insane? You know? That's crazy. That's crazy. None of them even deserve it. Like that's the sad part. None of them deserve $60 games at this point because we're getting worse games than we did even in even the PS4 and Xbox One generation. You know? Let's see. Refresh. Refresh. That sucks. Oh. But yeah. I bet people are leaving you like, you know, how dare you say that about my console? No, dude. I'm Bill Clinton for some reason. Let's see. Get out of here, idiot. But yeah. So consoles suck, basically. They have been for a while now, and they're doing nothing but being inconvenient, which kind of goes against their, you know, their whole thing. Shouldn't they be as convenient as possible, given that they're the weakest, they're supposed to be the least expensive alternative to PC gaming, but they're not. They're really not. Oh, but you know, you could get this. Come on, man. Oh, but you could get this. You know, for you could get a PS5 right now for $500. Okay, what about the online? You know, what about the services? What about the fully priced games? Even on digital, you don't have many options of buying the game, unlike, you know, PC. You don't. Come on, bro. Bitch. Thank you. It's good. Con Sonnet. Gals get regain. That actually might help. So yeah, I don't know, man. Consoles just do suck. Like, I might like just you know, react to videos, right? I think I'll do that in a little bit. I just want to play this game, or you know, well, I don't want to play this game. Like, I don't want to, but I'm just doing that, you know, just to talk over games, you know. It's kind of hard, like, going on and talking, you know, without engagement from fans, I guess, because there's like almost nothing to talk about. I basically said what I wanted to say, you know. Well, you know what? I didn't. I'm sorry, I'm lying. The other reason why I think the Switch 2 should fail, actually, I forgot to mention this, is because look at Nintendo's first-party stuff. Look at Metroid Prime 4. That thing is a joke. It's a straight-up joke. It's like, and what was another one? Oh yeah, and look at their shitty re-releases too. Like, we honestly did not think it was gonna get worse than the Mario 3D collection, right? I didn't. I was like, wow, this is a complete fucking ripoff, you know? But then Nintendo finds a way, man. They released, like, a year later, or two, I don't know, the fucking, the Ocarina, no, not Ocarina of Time, it was the one on the Wii, Skyward Sword. They re-released Skyward Sword for fucking $60, more than what the game launched on the Wii. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? It's like, oh my god, dude. And I never played that game, I didn't, so I just kind of bought it for 20 bucks on Mercari. Yeah, whatever, it's like, it's not a bad price, but it's like, and then I played the game and I'm like, yo, this shit ain't nothing amazing. The hell? You know, I mean, why did I get so anal when people attack Nintendo for doing the same shit over and over again? Because it's true, they're not good. Like, even in the Wii days, I meant, like, in the Wii days, I got so mad that people were like, oh, all they do is just release Zelda and Mario. It's true. It's actually very true. You know? It's very true. And every time that they release a Metroid or whatever, they half-ass it. Completely. Absolutely. It's like, just kind of sad. Not that they're not half-assing Mario, I mean, they are. Fucking Mario Wonder is, like, very mid. I don't know why people glorify that stupid thing. It's not that good. It's not. Oh wow, another shitty 2D platformer for Mario, guys. Come and rejoice. Like, bro. I mean, yeah, it's kind of nice that they had the stamps or whatever, but that's not a $60 worth of game, you know? Hell, it's barely worth free-to-play if I'm being honest. And didn't it not have multiplayer, like online multiplayer? And even if it did, you'd have to pay for it, which is a giant L, in my opinion. That's really stupid. So, no. It's not good, guys. It's not good. You know? Oh, what the hell? What is that? Oh. Let's do that here. Yeah. So, Nintendo and console gaming in general is just a giant walking, talking L, you know? They are. I'll get attack speed. Yeah, baby. Whee! But yeah. So, console gaming sucks. Oh, and another reason. Oh shit. And another reason why I want the Switch 2 to fail. Look how badly games are running. Now, of course, this is different from the other reason I'm giving, or the first reason I gave. But look how badly games are running. That could have easily been fixed if Nintendo had some sort of ecosystem, right? Which they do, but they have a shitty one. But what I'm trying to say is a hardware ecosystem. I wish they had a little, you know, home console version of the Switch 2 that lets you play the game better. And no, the shitty dock does not count because it doesn't give you freedom. You know, it doesn't give you freedom on how you want to experience the game, right? And there is no Switch 2 Pro, obviously, and I don't think they're going to make one. Clearly. I don't think so. You know? They didn't make a Switch Pro for one of their... No, for their most... or going to be their most successful console, the Switch 1. You know? What the hell makes you think that they're going to do it for the Switch 2? They're... Absolutely not, yeah, it's not going to happen. And like, even if it does, dude, they're making you pay for upgrades, you know? So, oh, like, even if you say, oh, I have the Switch 2, and it's better than the Switch 1, well, you have to pay for that betterness, you know? Like, you have to pay for that upgrade. Stupid. And it's not very good either. Like, oh wow, you get to finally play Breath of the Wild. You get to finally play Breath of the Wild at 60 frames when, dude, literally, like, the first year that the game came out and people emulated the Wii U version, people were able to do that in the first year of its existence on PC. You know, for free, by the way, for free, with mods and everything, obviously. It's like, dude, like, with Nintendo, what the hell are you doing, right? Like, what the hell, what with Nintendo, what are you getting? or with consoles, I'm sorry, with consoles in general, with their ecosystems, their shitty ecosystems that give you no freedom on how you want to play your games or anything. What are you getting with them? Like, I'm sorry, but like at this point, if you're a console gamer, you're a cuckold. You're a gaming cuckold. You are. It's crazy, you know. And this is coming from someone who was supporting the Switch 2. Oh shit. Was like supporting the Switch 2 like in 2022, you know, like its existence from 2022, you know? Because I was still more of a Nintendo fan at the time, you know, because I didn't experience PC gaming. So, yeah, it's just I don't know, man. It's kind of sad. Come on, bitch. Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's cold. All right. Yay. Let's see. Damn it. Let's do that. Yeah. So console gaming is shite. It is. And there's just like so many things too. My thoughts are just completely unorganized if I'm being honest. It really is. But there's like so many problems with console gaming, and again, it sucks because I had a history with it. But dude, it's like I won't care if I have history with something. If it sucks now, it sucks now. You know, just that simple. It's like the reason why I liked that thing is not existent. You know. So yeah, yeah, just that simple. Um, I think you know what? We could react to some fanboys right now if you guys want. Yeah. All right. I think I'll just do that. Hold on one second though. Before I do that. No. Let's see. No. Why are you? Oh wait, hold on. Display capture. There you go. Whoops. Is that it? There you go. Yay. Hello. Cool. Yep. Cool. So, let's see. Who can we react to? Oh yeah, what about Furious Fanboy or Player Essence? I'm gonna put the thing back now. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I want to react to people who cope really with the stupid thing. And he has been a Nintendo fanboy, by the way, in the OG days. Oh, hello, lovely people. I know it keeps dropping to 2 views and then back to 6. It's so weird, man. YouTube is so weird. But yeah, let's see. Okay, we could hold on. Huge, only possible. Hold on. What? Huge horror game only possible on Switch 2, set for 2026. Excuse me? Really? We're gonna pretend that games are only possible on the Switch 2? Don't fucking make me laugh, man. Already I have a lot to say.
Lot of big Nintendo Switch 2 news and more to get.
I'm sorry, are you guys able to hear it? Okay. We could hold on. Huge. Only possible. What? Huge horror game only possible on Switch 2, set for 2026. Excuse me? Really? We're gonna pretend that games are only possible on the Switch 2? Don't fucking make me laugh, man. Already I have a lot to say. I'm sorry, are you guys able to hear it? Here, I'm gonna turn it up a little bit more. We could
into the saga of Pokemon Voice. I know it's still not cleared up yet, still not back to 100%, but I'm getting better and better. Thank you for everybody that said get well soon, but we
Really?
got
We're
to
gonna
keep.
pretend that games are only possible on the Switch too? Don't fucking make me laugh. Already have a lot. Calling, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna bring up here. Calling, guys. I'll be right back. I'm gonna bring up here. Calling, guys. I'll be right back. Bring up here. Calling, guys. I'll be right back. Hello, I'm back. Now let me just check.
Gone. The show must go on. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first big news here with Persona 3 Reload, and then stay around.
Hello. Hello, I'm back. Now let me just check.
Gone. The show must go on. So let's go ahead and jump right into the first big news here with Persona 3 Reload, and then stay around.
Okay, that's better. Okay, that's fine. Yep. All right. I'll wait until people come back again, because now I'm just seeing one, which is me on on my phone. So that's not anybody, technically. So yeah, I'll wait. Okay, there you go. There's someone back.
because we've got updates on Call of Duty for the Nintendo Switch 2 and a big exclusive horror game
Wow,
for the Nintendo
guys.
Switch 2 that should be revealed in
The hell? Wow, guys, get this. They're getting Call of Duty finally. Again. Even though that, back in the Wii U days, you like Call of Duty has been shafted, but yeah, you guys are finally getting Call of Duty back. And probably at the worst ages too, by the way. This is probably the worst time to be getting Call of Duty back. But okay.
2026 based on what the developers are saying. Let's go ahead and jump right into the Persona 3 Reload news. We got version patch 1.
Wow, something that I could easily emulate on my PC? Whoa, dude. For free, may I add? Wow. Not to mention that, isn't this on the Vita? The fuck, like, isn't this on the fucking Vita? The hell?
Update is now available for the Nintendo Switch 2, and it improves the frame rate to somewhere where I said it should have been. And a lot of people saying that, oh, Switch 2 is not strong enough. That's crazy when it comes down to it. But yes, 60 FPS is now available in dock.
Hey, you stupid Switch 2 fanboys, you guys are finally able to play, a PS2 game, you know? You guys are able to play a fucking PS2 game at 60 frames with the Switch 2. Wow. Such amazing endeavors just waiting. So many possibilities with the Switch 2, guys. Can't wait.
Mode for Persona 3 Reload. So Atlas has released the version 1.02 update for the Nintendo Switch 2 version of Persona 3 Reload, which improves performance with a targeted 60 frames per second performance mode in TV mode and boosts frame rate stability across all other modes. So for those who didn't know, Persona 3
Is this really worth it getting excited about? Really? This is what he has his, like, 1-inch Nintendo chub for? A PS2 game that you could finally play at 60 frames per second on your Switch 2. Not your Switch 1, your Switch 2. Motherfucker, what?
Reload first launched on Nintendo Switch 2 with 30 FPS and frame rate dips,
Man.
frame and pacing problems that seems
Yeah, I'm telling you, consoles are dead. Consoles are completely dead, especially when you have idiots like this, like, just completely, sucking the dick of Nintendo and Sony and Microsoft for doing the fucking bare minimum, like having Persona 3, may I remind you, is a PS2 game, right? Let's see. I'm gonna prove it to you. Hold on. Persona 3. PS2? It is, yeah. Hold on. Yep. Released in 2006 for the PS2 in Japan. It's a 2006 PS2 game, and what Furious Fanboy is finally, Furious Fanboy over here is finally bragging about being able to play it at 60 frames on his brand new Nintendo Switch 2. Really? What a joke.
Oh. It's a lot cleaner, 30 FPS, not perfect. Would have liked to see that bump up to 60 FPS, but that seems to have been smoothed out here. And then, of course, 60 FPS if you're playing the game dock, which it should have been like that from the beginning. The developers did state that they wanted to.
Oh, so I mean, it should have been like that with the Switch 1, you mean, and then some. Like, bro, it is a PS2 game. Whatever.
Deadline. So essentially, they pretty much told us that they rushed the game out before, which I did cover on the channel. So let's talk a little bit more about this.
They had to rush a fucking emulated game, basically. Like, again, I'm telling you guys, all consoles are just remasters, remakes, and they're done poorly. They're done horribly, you know? There's always something wrong. Like, when the Halo collection came out on the Xbox One, right? And how horrid that launched compared to the original versions, obviously. It's like, bro, what are we doing? What the hell are we doing, bro?
Performance mode only available in TV mode, target 60 FPS per second, obviously great. TV mode and handheld mode improved frame rate stability. The Switch 2 patch update for the free demo will take place in the coming days. We don't know the exact timing, but if you want
to be excited, guys.
First, before you decide to jump in, then you will have to wait a few days when it comes to that. So the Switch 2 version of Persona 3 Reload is also on sale for the first
I have to wonder, is it really worth being a complete shill to a company, like this? Is it really worth it? This is sad. You have to like pretend to be excited, or if he is excited, it's even more sad. Like about a shitty PS2 game being up-resed on your dog shit overrated console. Really. Really.
For January 4th, 2026, you can purchase the digital version at 15% off at $50.99. You can find it some places physical for a game key card for about maybe $40. Some people are finding it for 30, but I've only seen it.
It's not even the first console, right? That you could play it portably. The Vita literally allowed you to do that. And I think even had Persona 4 Golden. Yeah.
40 so far. So yeah, pretty
So,
good. Definitely a nice update there when it comes to the Nintendo Switch 2 version of this game. And I talked about this before. There's no reason why this game shouldn't have been 60 FPS at the bare minimum on TV dock mode. And obviously, it would have been great if they could have got it at 60 FPS in portable mode. But I'm guessing that battery life would have not been very portable overall.
bro, it's a PS2 game. What? So you're making wait, so it's only 60 FPS on the shitty docked mode? Really? It's a PS2 game, you dumb fuck. What do you mean? Like, oh, they can't do it. Alright, whatever. I'm just gonna skip over this segment.
As okay, let's discuss what is going on here with this big, mature, or big horror game coming from Blooper Team, exclusive to the Nintendo Switch 2. Nintendo Insider had
Hold on, I'll wait for more people to come back. I don't know. You guys might be in the chat or whatever, or yeah, you guys might be here, but um, this the stupid live chat said there's only one person, which again is me, through my other phone. So I'm gonna wait. But until then, I'm just gonna read this. I am extremely proud of this achievement. Bloober Team CEO said about the fucking Switch 2 ports. I mean, I want to say proud, but okay, like. I wouldn't really say that's a proud achievement. Oh, okay, so you didn't even get into it yet. Again, guys, get excited for possibilities. Yeah. Hold on. Until then, let me just make fun of comments real quick. Definitely keeping up my eyes on Team Project M. What? Or Bloober Team's Project M. Huh? Because it's a Switch exclusive, that's why, or Switch 2 exclusive, really? You don't know anything about it, why are you excited? I don't know, it's just weird. Look at that, another exclusive. Oh yeah, that's something to brag about. Hey, we have a game that's gonna be limited and fucked over by the Switch 2. Dumbass. I just ordered Chronos and Persona 3 yesterday too. Okay, there's nothing wrong with that comment. Eternal Darkness. That's an achievement, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, well, you're not gonna get another one, so keep coping. He's basically saying how Internal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem is a masterpiece, right? And it's like, well, you're not getting another one. So, and thanks to Nintendo, you're not getting another one. So, okay, there's one person back.
An exclusive interview with the Blooper Team developers, and here's what they had to say about this mysterious Project M. The question was this: while the title hasn't been announced, can you go into what players should expect from Project M, the Nintendo platform exclusive horror title?
So to get this straight, I think Bloober Team is the same ones that made Chronos, right? This recent Dead Space wannabe game. So yeah, it's like, okay, cool, but it's like, who cares? It's gonna be exclusive to the Switch too. Why? Why is it exclusive to a dog shit piece of hardware? Like, it is objectively going to be the worst way to play a game, the Switch 2 version. It is it is objectively going to be the worst way, you know? Because even with the Steam Deck, you could choose how to play the game. You cannot choose how to play the game on the Switch 2. Man.
You have no idea how hard it is for me to not reveal what Project M truly is. But for now, it's still too early to talk about it. We're confident that we'll be able to share the first details very soon.
It's going to be another stupid walk and shoot horror slop. Yay. Whoa. Holy shit. Only achieved by the Switch 2, guys.
Can say is this: fans of Resident Evil, Silent Hill, Limbo, and Eternal Darkness will immediately feel at home. That said, Project M introduces a bold twist, one that
Wonder if I can. I guess not. Oh well.
no horror game has ever explored before. This is a vision that can only exist on Nintendo hardware. So that's really interesting.
Again, they didn't say how. Like, oh, it's gonna take take advantage of the Joy Cons. It's gonna just be more made for a portable experience, which does not it doesn't mean anything because again the Steam Deck could capture that much better if anything, because again you could decide how to run your game. So yeah, I don't know what they're talking about. Whatever, we're gonna skip this. We're gonna go to Call of Duty.
Moving on to the next topic, let's discuss more about the first Call of Duty game that's set to hit the Nintendo Switch 2. And it does seem very soon here in the next number of months, it is happening. We've got a pretty reliable Microsoft insider when it comes to that. So shout out to Go Nintendo for the write up on this one. Insider Jez.
So I'm gonna sound like an asshole. I don't care, but this isn't. Why are you guys finally getting excited for Call of Duty? If you really cared about Call of Duty, you would have played it on other platforms. I mean, I guess it coming to the Switch 2 is fine. Like, I guess that could be something that's like, okay, that is pretty cool, but it's not, you know? And the reason why I say that is just because, there has been Call of Duty on portable devices, like the Steam Deck, and mobile devices too, with Call of Duty Mobile, which I argue is actually better than the console ones, you know? It is. Call of Duty Mobile is actually better than the console ones. It's free to play. It has a lot of modes, and it has a you know, set of physics and all that shit. Like yearly, they don't give you a crappy game that might be good, might be bad, like the recent Call of Duty games, that you have to pay $60 for. No, Call of Duty Mobile gives you everything for free, you know. It has all sorts of modes, all sorts of skins. It has all sorts of content for absolutely free. And again, you don't need a crappy, what is it, Call of Duty, the Battle Royale one. Thank you. The Battle Royale one. You don't need that. My God, man. Dude, the live chat is weird. It keeps saying one person, four people, two people, like, bro, whatever, it's fine. It's like I'm so confused, right? I'm so confused. It's like, are people really excited about Call of Duty on the Switch too? Are we gonna pretend that there hasn't been Call of Duty games on portable devices? Really?
Gordon, who actually hates Nintendo and the Nintendo Switch 2. So I bet this guy was definitely not necessarily happy about reporting on this. But anyway,
And you hate every other thing other than Nintendo, so what are you talking about? Yeah, you're a fanboy too, bro. Don't act like you ain't.
he's the exclusive editor at Windows Central. He has the inside scoop on Call of Duty when it comes to the Nintendo side of things. And according to Gordon, Call of Duty on Switch is nearly done and launching in a few months. Now, Jez also gives no other details on specifications for this matter, or what's going to be happening, or anything like that. He's been right on Microsoft stuff in the past. He's gotten some things wrong, but a lot of the things he's gotten right. And he does have an inside track when it comes to.
I mean, we'll see too. By the way, we'll see what Call of Duty does for the Switch too. But I kind of feel like this isn't a big deal for a lot of people. You know, like Nintendo devices have historically been bad for third-party games, especially Call of Duty games. It's like, yeah, the Wii versions were their own thing, but they're definitely not the definitive versions. They weren't. They weren't. You know, and it's just pretty obvious that like Call of Duty on Nintendo systems are just a second thought and are never really focused on, not by the core group of Call of Duty fans, or hell, even by the Nintendo fan base. It's like they would rather play Mario or Zelda. They don't care about Call of Duty personally. They don't. And if they did, they would have had a system that did that a long time ago. I don't know, man. I just don't see the point really. I mean, it's okay that Call of Duty's coming to the Switch too, obviously. I'm just saying, like the Nintendo fanboys hyping this up, it's not that big of a deal. It's not as big of a deal as you think it is. So just take that with a grain of salt, right? Like it's like don't really think that this Call of Duty on Switch thing is gonna do anything. It's not. It's really not. But yeah.
Microsoft and PC stuff overall. So it does seem like just like Project M, this game could be something that Nintendo has.
Like, bro, realistically, they could have brought a lot of the 360 and PS3 Call of Duties to the Wii U, especially because they already had Call of Duty Ghosts and Call of Duty Black Ops 2 on the Wii U. They could have recycled the rest of the Call of Duties onto the Wii U. Did they? No, they didn't do that. So it just did so bad on Nintendo consoles historically to the point where they would rather not put it on there. But now they're going to put it on the Switch too, which okay is fine. Yeah, it's fine. This is going to be on another platform. Actually, if anything, that's better because there's potentially more people going to play. That's cool, but it's like I don't think that's going to be as big of a deal as these fanboys are making it out to be. That's all.
ready to go for that next Nintendo Direct that's coming up probably in February or March. Does seem more like February would be the month for the next big Nintendo Direct, and then the next few months that lines up when it comes to a Nintendo Direct and this right here. That lines up perfectly to when we see Call of Duty, we see potential this Project M, we see all these other types of games that we know Nintendo's been
You know
pushing.
what I noticed too? This guy does not play his games, bro. You know? Why are you showing trailers instead of showing gameplay for Call of Duty? See, he doesn't even care about Call of Duty, and yet he's reporting on this? Crazy. Hmm. Anyways, I'm gonna uh no, this is it basically because he's just gonna talk about the Switch 2 tech improvements. Fuck it, we'll go to that.
Well, all right, before we play that topic, let's talk about what Ubisoft is doing with Nintendo in order to bring
Oh,
better VRR, variable refresh rate, which I'll explain to you guys what that does. But Ubisoft is looking to
it
actually
does nothing. It is a AI stupid thing that does not do anything to significantly enhance your gaming experience. If anything, it's bad. It makes it worse in some cases. So who cares about the stupid PSSR, not PSSR, this DSSR shit? Who cares? You know, oh wow, they're gonna have technical improvements on AI upscaling because it's done so well for PC, right? It's done so well for the PS5 Pro, right? Which, by the way, spoiler alert, it doesn't. AI upscaling is so bad that even for consoles like the PS5 Pro, um, PS5 versions of games run better than the PS5 Pro. Let that sink in for a second. You know, in most cases, PS5 version of games run better than the PS5 Pro version of a game. Keep that in mind. So it's like AI upscaling is just such a shitty thing. It doesn't really do a lot. And if I'm being honest, I don't even fully comprehend what it does fully. Like I don't know exactly what it does because it doesn't show any improvements, any significant improvements. And the people who tried it out, they're like, okay, well, this it has a lot of latency. These frames are obviously fake, and it may have showed that it improved the frame rate or technical whatever, but it didn't. You know, it didn't. So I don't know, just weird.
bring better support for that and better implementation, not only for their own games when it comes to Star Wars Outlaws and Assassin's Creed Shadows, but for all games on the Nintendo Switch 2 and, of course, future Ubisoft games. So, shout outs to my man Stealth with the beat on this one, and states that Ubisoft says that they are working with Nintendo to improve VRR support on Switch 2 going forward. Ubisoft developers who worked on Assassin's
Oh, VRR, what the hell is that?
Creed Shadows port confirmed that Ubisoft is working with Nintendo to improve VRR support on handheld, not just for their own titles, but for every game. Now, the big thing with this, which is great,
You know, again, I'm happy that he finds this great and all. It's cute, really, how a Nintendo fanboy is talking about technical things. It's really cute. It's adorable. But motherfucker, if you care about the stuff, why are you on Nintendo especially? Why are you on a Nintendo device? Like, you know, the days of Nintendo doing technical achievements is far gone. You are not part of the conversation when it comes to technical achievements anymore. You know, you're not. It's like, why would you care about this whole technical BS when, you know, you're on a console that historically, or a console made by a company who historically fucks up on their technical bullshit, you know? Always. It's like, go to PC, bro. Like, what are you doing on Nintendo? It's so weird. I don't know. These like pseudo these like pseudo tech enthusiasts, you know? It's crazy. All right, well, we could go to another one. We go to crap gamer, I guess. See. All right, let's see what he got. What you got, fuck boy? Okay, let's see. Massive Series X warning. Dude, the Series X warning has happened like fucking 10 years ago. You know? I mean, the Xbox in general, you know? The Xbox warning in general has happened 10 years ago. It's not our fault. Whatever. I'll just Microsoft give owners a free gift. Nah, I'll just do this. Oh hey, we got a comment from Super Bay, Super Bra. I guess I'm just gonna call you Super Bra. Would rather kids play Mario than play Roblox. Not worried about Call of Duty Switch. Not worried about Call of Duty. Switch needs to keep kids away from uh, PDFs. Yeah, you know what? I kind of agree with that, really. That's why I don't want them to fail. Here's the thing though, I kind of feel like which I completely understand where you're coming from. I do. But I kind of feel like I would argue that PDFs are even more so on Nintendo consoles. Have you seen a lot of the Nintendo fan bases, Super Bruh? Dude, you know, I don't want to generalize really because this is a seriously sensitive topic, but look how many people on look how many PDFs are on the hardcore Smash community. You know what I mean? So unfortunately, Super Bruh, we don't have that protection anywhere. It's just that parents need to really, teach their kids how to stay away from people like that. I agree with you though. I wholeheartedly agree with you, which is why I don't know if you heard about this, Super Bruh, but the next playground, that new console, right? That outperformed basically everybody on Black Friday. Yeah, it's that's much better, really. That's not the game. You're right, but the thing is that like those fan bases are still in those kids' games. You know what I mean? Like they're still going online, playing with kids. You know what I mean? I mean like playing the game, and even on Splatoon, right? Splatoon, they're going on those games and playing with kids. You know, and with Splatoon, I think you're able to voice chat. Yeah, yeah, you are able to voice chat. So these PDFs are able to go anywhere, man. Unfortunately. And by the way, the Switch 2 also has games where PDFs are available, right? So you say Minecraft, Minecraft is on the Switch too. So unfortunately, PDFs are able to go on there and play with kids as well. Unfortunately, it's not a platform thing, or it's not a game thing. It's everywhere. Unfortunately, um, COD is the same. I absolutely agree. Unfortunately, they're just those fucking weirdos. The only thing that could happen, Super Bruh, realistically, the only thing that could happen is that the kids, or I'm sorry, the parents need to teach their kids or keep them off of games, really. Like at least those games, keep them off of online games. There's no benefit to letting your kids play online games, personally. There isn't. You should let your kids instead play with other kids outside and, like, or play locally, play a game locally. That too. There's no reason to let your kid go online, in my opinion. There isn't. Um, but if they are, they need to teach their kids the dangers of predators online. They do. I agree with you. I agree with you on that. But Call of Duty is the same? Absolutely. Yeah, you're right. Unfortunately, there are PDFs everywhere. You know, in the army, we have PDFs. Not saying that most of them are, of course not. They're a small minority, thank God, in every place that they're in, but they still make that, that presence known, right? Of course, you know. When they're caught, oh, they make it well known, right? Like I'm not even saying like 10%, 5% of Smash players are PDFs. I'm not even saying that. But that 1, maybe 2%, they make it very, they make it online. So, yeah, that's just a sensitive topic that parents need to discuss with their kids personally, or just not let them play online until they're like 16. That's what I would do personally. At least Nintendo thinks about that. That's kind of true. Like Nintendo is the one that's like, yeah, you know what? We're not even putting like with the Wii U days, they did not put voice chat. They did not put voice chat, probably for that reason. You know, hell, they did not even want to acknowledge the hardcore Smash community. But like I said, man, it doesn't really think about. It doesn't really matter if Nintendo thinks about it and stuff like that. The problem is that it's everywhere. It is, you know, and unfortunately, it's not like Nintendo did that. They went through it. Who did? Nintendo. Nintendo went through it. Who went through the through that Predator BS? Oops, my bad. Uh, like, are you saying that Nintendo went through it? Which yeah, I guess would explain why they're trying to go heavily on it. I don't blame them. It's just that, they're trying to really look, they don't want any reason for parents to complain about kids playing on their platform too. I think that's another reason. Not that, they're thinking about it morally, but it's fine. I think that's a good idea though. Yeah, Nintendo, yeah, exactly. Yeah. I mean, trust me, man, I hope that there's like some sort of machine that could dictate if you're a predator or not, and just fucking a laser just comes out of the console and shoots them. I wish that was the case, bro. That would be a perfect world that we would live in. The note thing. Ah, got it. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, the note thing. Yeah. So, but again, my answer is that unfortunately they're everywhere. They're those pieces of crap. They're everywhere. It's like, why? Man. Yeah, those people are fucking weird, bro. Oh, on the DS? Oh, yeah, 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 yeah. Right, right. Oh, yeah, you're right. Like, weren't they going to make the notes on the DS? The Flip Note Hatino, right? Like, that's one of them too. They were going to make that more online, but they were worried about the whole pedophilia thing. Yeah. I think that was one of the things that they're going to have online for. Um, but instead they just made people share their creations, which I think it was actually a solid idea, by the way. I think that was a great idea. That actually makes it so that, oh, I'm comfortable with my kid owning a DSi. Yeah, absolutely. So that was really a base take on them, I feel. I love the DS days, by the way. Like, no, that was perfect online gaming to me for a kid. It was perfect. Very simple. But yeah, sorry. Let's get into the video.
It's a very common thing to kind of compare the video game industry to like sports and things. And
Which, by the way, Super Bro, you could keep talking about that too. I'll keep responding. That's absolutely fine. But let me just get through this video real quick.
I like to do that a lot because I'm a big sports fan, and this year, as everybody knows, I'm a big Ravens fan, and so it's been a little bit of a rougher year for Ravens, and it's interesting because like on the different aspects of hey, I'm a Ravens fan. Here's what's going on. Is this good? Is this good? There's a lot of people who are very upset with the Ravens this year. They want the coach fired. This kind of stuff sort of harkens back to what's going on with Xbox. A lot of people want Phil Spencer fired. They want him let go. Whatever the case may be.
Honestly, I'm one of the people who think that even if they let Phil Spencer go, that will not do anything for Xbox. Xbox in general, people don't seem to realize this, but Microsoft in general just has this disgusting, evil DEI, not only hiring process, but culture, right? You will get paid less if you are a white male over at Microsoft. That has been proven. You will, let's see. You will get chastised over some woman of color who doesn't know what the hell she's doing if you are not that woman of color, right? So if you don't have a vagina or you're not a certain skin color, like a certain colored skin color, then you're screwed. That's how Microsoft is. So that inherently just makes really bad hiring decisions, and that's what's going on in Microsoft. Phil Spencer is just like one of those effects. I don't know, he is a white male though, so I don't know how he got into that position, but hey, Phil Spencer is not the only problem, really. This isn't me defending him. No, he sucks at his job, for sure. But Phil Spencer is not the reason why this is happening.
I think unless you get rid of literally everybody, you'd have to get rid of the entire Xbox team, Booty, Sarah Bond, Phil Spencer, Tim Stewart, all these guys. You'd have to get rid of everybody, in my opinion. And even
Agreed. Wow. Crap gamer with a base take. What?
then, Microsoft would have to just agree to whoever came in would allow them to kind of do what they had to do. And I think maybe that.
But that's not even exactly true, right? The problem is that you need to get rid of even Bill Gates. Like that's the problem. The problem with Microsoft is that they got more involved with Xbox, and that inherently screwed everything up. Hello, lovely new viewers. How are you guys doing? How are you guys doing? Hello, lovely new viewers. We were just talking about how bad the work culture is at Microsoft, and how Phil Spencer getting rid of him will not fix the issue. It'll barely do anything really. That's what we're doing. Um, so right now, I'm just responding to Crap Gamer. And yeah.
Yeah, could possibly change something, but that's probably never going to happen. I think even maybe spinning off the Xbox
branch could do something. But we'll see. I don't think there's any anything that's going to really kind of happen anytime soon that would do that. So I'm not sure what to say or what exactly happened there. But this was very interesting because it really proves the mismanagement, right? It's like the things that you could count on, like even when Xbox was struggling in the Xbox One era, what was like the only thing you could really count on?
Honestly, that's when Microsoft, hello, lovely new viewer, yet again. How are you doing? But the problem with Xbox really when it all started is when the Kinect happened. So even before the Xbox One, I would say is where the true problem happened, and that was with Kinect. So because Kinect was a stupid gimmick where, they were making money off of it, admittedly, through the hardware, the problem is that they tried to implement Kinect with everything and they kind of chastised their Xbox fan base. So honestly, the whole problem started with that. And when the Kinect did well, Microsoft got more and more and more involved with the Xbox 360. And then the Xbox One launch, that infamous launch happened.
Was the Forza games, right? Forza Motorsport, Forza Horizon. You knew that Microsoft was going to get these games; they were going to be highly rated and do well. And now it's like you look at it and you can just tell how badly managed that entire team is. And how do they
Oh, hold on. As Forza Motorsport winds down, Gran Turismo is experiencing a phenomenon at PlayStation. Yikes.
go from coming out with a banger of a game every other year to having 7 years to do a game and completely mess it up so bad that they lay off almost the entire studio and become a support studio, right? So Forza Motorsport is winding down. Gran Turismo is experiencing a phenomenon at PlayStation. Much has been said about how Forza Motorsport is essentially winding down after 2 years on the market, with the team recently confirming that no new major content will be added to the game from here on out. This obviously comes as a shame for those who enjoy a more simulated focused experience than with Forza.
So yeah, wow. Isn't this really funny? This is exactly what I said in the video too, that people were going to lose interest in Xbox games in general. Well, you are failing, so who wins here? How am I failing? I'm failing? How? Am I making valid points, son? No, I'm kidding. No, really though. How am I failing? I was talking about the failures of Xbox or consoles in general. Unless you're talking about my audio, which, yeah, I will admit is not the best. Yeah. I shall wait for your response, Chef. Chevy. I'm gonna call him Chevy.
So indicates that 2023's Forza Motorsport reboot hasn't managed to prove as popular as Xbox has likely hoped. Meanwhile, PlayStation's Gran Turismo 7, a game that's very similar to Forza Motorsport, is apparently experiencing a phenomenon, quote unquote.
Oh wait, Chevy took me away from my train of thought. So basically, what I was saying was that people were gonna lose interest in Xbox games, and I was absolutely correct. I was absolutely correct. Now look at this. People are not giving a shit about Forza Motorsport, right? And they're moving on towards apparently Gran Turismo. That's crazy. That is actually insane, you know. And it's like, yeah, Microsoft could keep, releasing games on the PS5 and Switch 2 and whatever, but until they start respecting those markets, right? It's not gonna happen. Lonely Gooner 2012. Hello, man. What's up? He says Xbox needs to hire a external PR company to work on their image. Absolutely fucking agree, dude. Right now is destroyed. Also, why you have big studios like Gears and Halo Studio not pumping out new IP? Absolutely, dude. I completely agree with Lonely Gooner 2012 here. I completely agree with you. Why are they not making newer franchises is beyond me. And you know what's funny, man? When the original uh what's their name again? Bungie. Bungie team, the original people that made Halo, when they wanted to, make Destiny, which was a huge success, Microsoft shot them down. Microsoft shot them down for wanting to make what is it, Destiny instead of another Halo game. So Bungie left and they made Destiny and they made it multiplat. So Microsoft took away a potential franchise that could have been very successful, or no, is successful right now. Stupid. I always thought Microsoft, got, this is super bruh. I always thought that Microsoft got into gaming for the wrong reason. It was always for money. You know what? That's a very good point, Superbra. It was. That's true, right? You know what? The main reason why they got into Xbox, believe it or not, is because they were afraid that the PS2 was going to take over the living room. That's why. They're like, oh my god, it's a multimedia feature that is very mainstream and it's cheap. Oh shit. You know, because the PS2, keep in mind, was very cheap. It was able to play DVDs and it was able to play, the modern games that you have today. So it's like, yeah, that's actually kind of true. Shit. And you're right. Yeah, they always did get into it. But here's the thing, Superbra. Microsoft was never completely involved with Xbox. They had a team that designed it, you know? And a good example of that was what's his name? With Bill Gates. He wanted to make the Xbox like more of a Windows computer. That's what he wanted to do. He wanted to make Xbox a Windows computer that's just able to play games, you know? And the Xbox team is like, "Oh yeah, we'll do that. We'll do that." And then they didn't. Thank God. Okay, so Lonely Gooner 2012. Another thing they should have done is give their console some worth and meaning. New releases on IPs on Xbox for the first 6 months, and then on Game Pass. Completely agree with you there. Yeah, they kind of fucked up releasing their games on Game Pass, and I don't really have a initial issue with that. But you know what they done? They have made games so bad and they made them like kind of fit within this subscription model. You know what I mean? Like look at Halo Infinite, for instance. That game is a pile of shit, you know? And I'm even talking about the single player. It is like such a, streaming game slop. And you see with Game Pass back in what 2017 with what the hell was it? Crackdown 3. Crackdown 3 was such a garbage game as well, and they made it launch on Game Pass. So yeah, you're right. You're right. They have made this whole culture around Game Pass with their games. You're absolutely correct. I think that's what you're trying to initiate, right? Is that Microsoft has been giving low quality games because they have been releasing games on Game Pass. Like they've been making it around a subscription model rather than the quality of the game. And I agree, they have. They absolutely have.
Right now.
What's wrong with the Switch 2? Oh, games 44. I have a whole book to give you. What's wrong with the Switch 2? Honestly, art is not a subscription service. Completely agree with you, Super Bra. It's a good option, right, for older games, like Lonely Gooner said. It's a good option for older games, but it's not a good option for newer games. Absolutely not. That's a stupid thing. That's why I'm sorry, that's why Nintendo and Sony are making a killing. Meanwhile, Microsoft is like trying to play catch up and put their games on their consoles. Crazy. Absolutely agree. But what's wrong with the Switch 2? Man, the fact that you have no control over your hardware now, right? The Switch 2 is a piece of shit, dude. It's overpriced, underpowered, and if you do the wrong thing, Nintendo will brick your console, Games 44. Isn't that a really bad thing? Aren't you afraid that they're gonna, brick your thing because what you played the wrong Switch 1 game? Because you didn't pay for the Switch 2 version of a game? They might do that. You don't know. It's like I don't want any stupid big corporation. Any corporation. I don't want Valve controlling my PC, right? I don't want Valve, doing whatever the hell they want with my PC. Hell no. Get the fuck away from it. I kind of disagree, Super Bright. I think the Switch 2, or yeah, the Switch 2 is a pile of shit. It's gonna be really bad for modern gaming. I'm telling you, man, it is. It's like again, it's overpriced or underpowered, just like the Switch 1. But now, like, I mean, the Switch 1, you know, like the Switch 1 was $300 when it launched. That's actually not a bad price. It wasn't, because it was able to play modern games at a lower price. But hold on, let me get to Lonely Gunner real quick. I'm not gonna lie, I'm still salty about the whole Scalebound thing. Me too, bro. Me too. Seriously, like the fact that you brought that up, I'm fucking pissed about that too. Cause Scalebound, bro, Scalebound looked fucking awesome. It did, and that would have came to PC too. You know it. It would have came to PC. Yeah, we just can't have nice things, man. We can't. Games 44, I understand what you're trying to say, like, oh yeah, it did sell 15 million, but that's really the initial hype, man. It is. Because that's the people who already own, who are huge fans of the Switch 1, like, the hardcore fan base of the Switch 1, they're the ones who bought the Switch 2. After that, though, I don't see it really doing well after that. I don't. You know what also did really well? Games 44, also did very well? The Wii U. At launch, it did phenomenal, actually. It kept selling out. It sold like 3 million within a month or two or something like that. And then look how it ended up. Now, I don't think that the Switch 2 is going to meet, the Wii U numbers. Absolutely not. But I think it's going to meet the 3DS numbers. It's definitely not going to get anywhere near the same numbers as the Switch 1. That's what I'm trying to say. And if they release a Switch 3 and it has even more issues than the Switch 2, I'm sorry, man. It's gonna fail even more. That's what it's for. You mean like are you talking about the controlled system, like the controlled ecosystem, Superbra? Which you're right, I understand that. I understand that's an appeal, like a controlled ecosystem. I do. But the problem comes from, the whole thing. Um, the whole problem comes from this, though, right? Is that when you have it too controlled, you kind of lose you kind of lose track of what makes it good, you know? Like what makes it convenient. That's the problem with console gaming right now is that it really lost their identity. It did. I agree with you on that part. I'm estimating it's going to sell 80 million. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Games 44, I agree with you. Maybe 75 to 80 million. I agree with you. I think that's going to sell that much. I mean, if Nintendo cuts the price and releases more good games, I mean, it could go more. I'm just saying. And cuts the price of games, it could go more. But yeah, trust me, guys. Super Bra and Games 44. I'm telling you guys, I wanted the Switch 2 to be fucking good. I did. I really, really did. I did. It's a 4K Switch. Yes and no. The problem is that they don't have many things take advantage of that 4K, and even if they do, it's like you can't really decide on what game you could make with that 4K, right? So you can't run a game at 144p and 120 frames per second. You can't do that. And even if it does, guess what? Super Bra and Games 44, the problem is that they're doing this whole DLSS shit. That's what it's called. DLSS, where you're getting fake frames and fake resolutions, which I hate. I hate that. Excuse me. Yeah. So Lonely Gunner 2012, Nintendo made a mistake to market the Switch 2 as a 4K portable. They would have been better off saying that it is 1080p 60 frames per second machine, but a 4K machine. Yeah, I agree. I agree. It's like was was anyone really looking for a 4K portable? Like the problem with the Switch 2, is that again, you can't decide on it's not a PC, right? You can't decide on what frames you want it at the resolution you want it. That's the problem with console gaming in general. This isn't just a Switch 2, you know. That's the issue. And it's like, trust me guys, I wanted the Switch 2 to be absolutely amazing. I did. But it's like Nintendo really dropped the ball and they got lazy with their console. And I kind of knew that this was going to happen, unfortunately. Well, mom won't be able to tell. Exactly. So she won't care, you know? Super Bra, you're right. But the thing is that she won't be able to care either, you know? So that's not even a selling point to a mom or a dad or anything like that, right? They're like, just imagine you're a kid, right? And you're telling your parents, "Hey, mommy, I want to Switch too." Why do you want to Switch too, son? Because it has 4K. What does that mean? I don't know. Like, I don't even think the kid will know. But yeah, it's like, and 4K is nice, but it's still like pretty niche too. I feel. I don't really think that Switch 4K has a big audience. Switch 2 is a better value than Xbox Series X. Let's be honest. Yes and no. I do know what you're saying. It's like at the end of the day, games are still being made around the PS4. So technically, you're not really losing anything sticking with the Switch 2 for now. You know, you're not allowing people to be simple. Well, the thing is that like Nintendo's not allowing it either, Super Bra. That's a problem. It's like when Nintendo is forcing you to pay $500. You have to understand that. That's $500 for a product that's just portable. That's really bad. You know? That's really bad. And then, no, no, okay, here's the thing. If the Switch 2 was more powerful natively, not, through DLSS and fake frames and all that crap, um, and it didn't make you pay for online, it didn't make you pay for using the C button, right? It would have been a good value. Absolutely agree with you. It would have been a great value, you know? And I think people would have agreed as well. People pay $500 for a PS5. So if the Switch 2 was fairly powerful, like around that same power scale, they would have loved it. Yeah, absolutely. I think the Switch 2 would have been worth the $500. But think about it, man. You're paying $500. You have to pay $80 for games now? Like, are you fucking kidding me? Are you kidding me? That's horrible. And then most of the games are not even on the cartridge anymore. Like, God damn it. Come on now. $400 seems like a better price for the Switch 2. Absolutely agree, dude. Dude, in Japan, it's only a Japanese only version. But in Japan, they have it for $350. Think about that shit, bro. They have it for $350. Games 44 in Japan. One game, yeah, exactly. Well, one game is $80. You're right, but how do you know that Nintendo isn't going to make more games like that? I mean, of course they are. You know, if they deem like Mario Kart World did well enough, they're going to do $80 games for more games. Unfortunately, it's not like, oh, it's only one game or whatever. That never happened, Super Bruh, and you know it. You could get it for 50. Basically, with the bundle, you're right. You can get it for 50. And yeah, honestly, if you're gonna get a Switch 2, you might as well get that bundle. But guess what? They're gonna discontinue that bundle. They're gonna discontinue the Mario Kart and Switch 2 bundle. Stupid move, I think. All right, so with Games 44, he said, "I won't regret buying a Switch 2 because DK Bonanza was phenomenal and Kirby Air Riders is packed with content. You know what? Kirby Air Riders, I did hear was very good. So yeah, honestly, and it does look like a fun game, and I'm happy that they brought that back really instead of making another generic racing game. So I do agree with you on that. At least Kirby Air Riders looks fairly unique and very fun. You're right. So it's true." But I would definitely buy a Switch 2, bro. If the Switch 2 was cheaper and it didn't have this bricking issue, because I love doing whatever I want with consoles, and I'm just afraid, I'm paranoid that Nintendo's gonna brick my console if I do anything wrong. I just don't want that doom like looming over me. I don't want that. It's $80 because the bundle, but no, no, with the bundle though, it's technically 50. Because you're paying 450 for the Switch, and then you're getting the game for $50, and that's why it's a $500 bundle. So, oh no, no, you're saying that it's 80 because of the bundle. That's wishful thinking, man. But think about it. Did they decrease their price throughout the Switch One, Super Bruh? Did they decrease the price? They never did. Unfortunately, if they don't drop the price after the bundle, that's stupid. Fully agree with you, bro. Fully agree with you. Yep, exactly, right? It's like if they don't drop the price at all, it's like, yeah, no, they're stupid. Completely agree. But they were never known for dropping the prices, for the Switch 1 era. Let's be honest. They never did, unfortunately. Um, you know, of course you would have your sales here and there, but they weren't enough, in my opinion. They weren't. But man, look at that. I'm getting a conversation happening. I love this. I love this. You know, you guys, Games 44 and Superbra, you guys are one of the few sane Switch 2 enjoyers, right? It's like I'm not even trying to say that that it's wrong for you to like the Switch 2. I think the Switch 2 could have its yeah, it could have its appeal, personally. I do. Just by curiosity's sake, I want to try whatchamacallit. I do want to try like what is it? What's that game called again? Cyberpunk. I'm sorry, I don't really care about the game, but I do want to try that game on the Switch too, admittedly. especially because the whole game is actually on the cartridge. What do you know? Yeah, the whole game is actually on the cartridge, so that's pretty cool. I like that. I like that. All right. So I think they only break your console if you pirate games, which is illegal anyway. I agree with you, but it's like here's a problem, man. Who pirates their games on Nintendo consoles? The small niche my own minority, bro. And they're gonna punish you, I, and many people, many normal people for that. You know? It's crazy. It's insane, man. And not to mention that they could brick your Switch for any reason they find deemable. Any reason. So say Games 44, if you went on Nintendo's YouTube channel and you called them a poopy head, they could brick your Switch for that. They could brick your Switch too for that. You know? I don't know, man. I don't know. I just don't trust any company with control over my hardware that I bought, bro. I don't like that. I think the Switch 2 is a good deal. Sure, games are expensive, but it's a good deal. I wish I could agree with you on that, but honestly, here's the problem with the Switch 2. It's not exactly like Switch 2 caliber. You know what I mean? There's a lot of games that don't even look that good or run that good on the Switch 2. So I wish I could agree with you, Great Boomy. I wish I could, but I disagree. I don't think they're a good deal, personally. Not saying that Switch 2 is perfect though. Absolutely, yeah, of course. I don't think anyone could argue that. I don't even think Nintendo fanboys could argue that really. But you guys don't seem like Nintendo fanboys. You guys seem cool. I like, I'm happy that you guys are saying like why you like the Switch 2. Absolutely fine. I agree with it. I agree that you guys like it. I have a PC and a PS5, Superbra says. Okay. Yeah. Which one are you enjoying more, the PC or the PS5? I'm curious. No, they can. That's illegal. Unfortunately, because you bought the Switch 2 and you agreed to this terms of service, not that they can, but here's a problem though. They legally put that you can't do anything about it. You're right, it's illegal, but now it's let me tell you, man, the business world, excuse me, the business world is fucked. Hi, Gilly. What's up, man? What's up, Gilly? But the business world is fucked, super bruh. It is. So just because it is illegal, that doesn't mean that they can't make regulations, quote unquote, to not make it illegal. You know what I mean? For them, it's stupid. It's such a stupid thing. That's what's wrong with America too. Honestly, is like, oh well, technically it's not illegal for you to fish, but there's a regulation saying that you would need a permit. So stupid shit like that. Enjoy what you like. I don't know why PC dudes hate you when you like something different. It's not that Great Boomy. The problem is that some Nintendo fanboys give a bad name for you guys. They do, you know? And I used to love Nintendo, bro. But I have to say, Nintendo fanboys, when you disagree with them, they are the worst to deal with. They really are. They're worse than PlayStation fanboys. Okay, well, not by much, but they are. The rabid ones, they're really, really annoying. Um, and they defend the worst things that would be better off to not have for you, I, and many people that want to like the Switch 2, right? It's like, here's the thing. If you guys love the Switch 2, you would love it even more if these stupid Nintendo fanboys weren't defending Nintendo's bad practices. That's a fact, you know? Like, the Switch 2 would be a better system if it wasn't for the fanboys. So I'm playing Assassin's Creed Shadows on Switch 2, and it's great. Yeah, see, I want to play games like that, like games that I do not want to play on my PC. I want to play them on the Switch 2, really. Yeah, like I definitely want to try something like Assassin's Creed Shadows. See, here's another great thing about the Switch 2 as well, is that it is a new console. So when you play games on it that already released, it's actually kind of cool that that the Switch 2, the Switch 2 specifically, is a new console, so it doesn't have many games like Assassin's Creed Shadows or Call of Duty or anything like that. So that is a pretty cool thing about the Switch 2. If you want to play on the Switch 2, you're gonna have a lot to look forward to. Yeah, like Call of Duty is coming to the Switch 2 now. Let's see now. And there's a lot of games that are coming to the Switch too, basically. Oh yeah, and then Assassin's Creed Shadows obviously came out on the Switch too. Cyberpunk, I would play that too if you haven't already. Games 44 on the Switch too. So here's the funny thing too. If Nintendo goes back on this whole bricking shit for the Switch 2, I will actually go out and buy one. I will. I will just get it third party, obviously, but yeah, I will go out and buy a Switch 2. I'm a Nintendo fan. I don't know why I can't or yeah, I can't enjoy playing games without getting bashed for online. I get it. The Switch 2 isn't exactly what we wanted it to be. Yeah, yeah, but we're experiencing the death of, but we are experiencing the death of Xbox. So yeah, I mean Microsoft is fucking up left and right, bro. It's like I can't even understand. I can't fathom what is going through Microsoft's mindset personally. I can't. Like, what are they doing? Honestly. I mean, you know what the funny thing is? They think this whole PC and Xbox hybrid is gonna like do something. Bro, if it's a, much more powerful Xbox with the PC mode, that would be awesome, but it's not gonna be that. It's gonna be a PC with more emphasis on the Xbox app. Like, bro, get the hell out of here. Ugh. Resident Evil 9 and Pragmata is coming to the Switch too. Yep, that's true. Yeah, so it'd be very interesting to have those games coming to the Switch too as well. Absolutely. It's actually surprising that when they announced that, I'm like, oh, cool, they're getting Switch 2 ports. So even though I'm not a huge fan of the Switch 2 right now, and even in some cases, I hope it fails with a lot of the anti-consumer things that it does. Um, you know, it's still great to see games coming to it, and I'm actually excited to see more games come to it. That's the thing. It's like because when the Switch 2 goes back on that stupid, bricking BS, I'll be happy to play certain games that I won't play on Steam because I have a lot of games on there on the Switch 2, So that's the thing. So Great Boomy, you are correct. Right. Oh. Oh wait, hold on. I didn't read this. Super Breath says, well, I love my PC, but I just got an OLED TV with surround sound and got into Death Stranding 2. It's phenomenal. Really? Huh. Yeah, I heard a lot of problems with the first one, but I'm actually hearing people getting into the second one. So, damn. Yeah. Maybe Death Stranding 2 will come to the Switch too. Who knows? So yeah, here's the thing though too, which I'm not bringing up, but I think the Switch 2 is a phenomenal way for people to get into games that they probably would not get into, right? So that's the thing. It's like again, I did not really get into Cyberpunk, but I think because it's a Switch 2, right? Where there's not really that many options, I think I would actually enjoy Cyberpunk more on the Switch 2 than I would on the PC because of that. Even though that yeah, runs better on PC, it does all that. I think the Switch 2 is a great way if you want to experience that platform. It's a great way to experience certain games. So Switch 2, it could be good. RPGs, I actually can't wait for to see the RPGs on the Switch 2 because you're kind of right. Like RPGs kind of died a little bit, just a little bit, like in terms of flair and all that, all that stuff. Like in terms of uniqueness, honestly, the Switch 1 did kind of bring back RPGs a little bit, just in terms of style and stuff. Because what was it? What was the name of that game that Square Enix made for it? It was like Project Triangle Strategy or something like that. It was a bad name. Um, what the hell was it? But it was like this 2D, 3D art style that Square Enix made, and it looked fucking phenomenal. What was it though? What was the name of the game? Fuck, I forgot. It was like a turn-based RPG, and it had that beautiful 2D and 3D art style. What the hell was it called? Shit. What was it called? Damn, I forgot. But yeah, that RPG looked great. And I think because of the Switch 1, they really brought that game to life. So, yeah, yeah. I mean, that game would have not been made on the PS5 and Series X, I'll tell you that right now. So I think Switch 2. Yeah, you have it? Yeah, yeah. That's good. That's one of the best games to have on the Switch, personally. Oy, oy. I can't believe I forgot the name of it. What the? Oh my God. It's been so long, man. It's been so long. But yeah, look at this, man. I have this whole conversation going. I'm loving this, bro. I'm loving this. Let me just like react to this video real quick, or to this part until more people talk.
Due to how many players are still engaging with it, and the number is still growing. Here's what series producer Mr. Yamauchi had to say on a recent roundtable interview. And
Hold on. Before I do, I just want to ask people: is it wrong for me to say that Microsoft needs to make games for each platform? Like if they want to make games for the Switch too, I think they should bring back Banjo-Kazooie and make it around the Switch too, and then obviously release on other platforms. But I'm just saying, like, if you want to, appeal to the Nintendo crowd, you need to you need to make Nintendo like games, you know, like bring back Banjo-Kazooie, like I said, right? So for Nintendo people and for Sony people, make more story-oriented games. For the PC people, bring back fucking Halo to its good days and Gears to its good days. You know what I mean? And for mobile, release a bunch of free-to-play multiplayer games. They love that. In fact, I'm surprised Halo Infinite wasn't on mobile, really. That's crazy. Octopath Traveler. Thank you. Yes, yes, yes. Octopath Traveler. That's the name of the game. Yep. Octopath Traveler. That's a really good looking game, and again, that game would have not been made if it wasn't for the Switch. Maybe for PC they would have done something like that, but not Square Enix. No. So the Switch brought that to the mainstream, I will say. So good on Nintendo for that. But if I'm being completely honest, though, Nintendo kind of kept traditional RPGs alive with Pokemon. So I will give them credit for that too. They did a good job. They did a fantastic job. Excuse me. So let's see here. Yep. So yeah, Octopath Traveler. God, that brings back memories. I guess we'll just continue with this video for now.
Gran Turismo 7 has been released for several years, but still, the active users are currently over 2 million people, and the new users are increasing. The status that Gran Turismo 7 is in now is probably the best of any Gran Turismo title that we've had in the past. We've never experienced this phenomenon before, and neither has PlayStation. So listen, I'm sure that's probably what Microsoft wanted, right? Microsoft probably wanted a title that was, able to kind of grow and, attract people to kind of stick around and stuff like that. The problem
Yeah,
is honestly, they didn't make a good game.
yeah, here's the thing, man. Microsoft, they could put their games on as many platforms as they want. The problem is that that's not going to do anything, right? Like again, like I said, unless they appeal to each platform with the games, nothing is going to happen, I feel. You know? Like if Microsoft doesn't make 3D platformers or something like that, like, more casual experiences for the Switch 2, it's not going to go anywhere. I feel like that's not going to go anywhere. If they don't make more story oriented games for PlayStation, that eventually that's gonna die down, you know. And yeah, they could give them Halo and stuff like that. And yeah, Halo, what was it? A story involved or something like that. Did fine on the PS5. The problem is that that's only the story mode, and PlayStation users got shafted. Like Microsoft was so lazy that they couldn't even give them multiplayer for this Halo 1 re-release. Like, oh God, man, we're done. You do need those low end hardware spec for developers to actually try. I do agree. I think like low specs could breed creativity. The problem is we don't have good developers nowadays, man. We barely do. Maybe we have some, but the problem is that we don't have good developers nowadays. You know, if I'm being completely honest with you guys, the Switch 2, excuse me, the Switch 2 hardware should be fine for modern games. But the reason why I have a problem with this hardware is because we just have bad developers, you know? Like, think about it. Do you know why you have that game that runs horribly on your consoles and PC? Is because we have bad developers nowadays. Just think back in the 360 and PS3 era, where we had all sorts of technical miracles happening on consoles like the 360 and PS3. That, by the way, were a lot more limited than you guys thought they were. But we didn't notice that because developers took advantage of their hardware regardless, and they optimized their games for it. Wow, what do you know? And you just don't get that anymore. So the problem is that like the Switch 2 could be a even better console if the developers weren't so bad, you know. But if I'm being honest, even Nintendo's own developers are not taking advantage of the Switch 2 either. That's a problem, you know. And of course, like neither one of them should have this problem. We don't have good. This is ICP 03. We don't have good developers because Western publishers fired them all. It's not even that too. You know what? You know what happened? A lot of them went on to do better things. Thank God. Like they deserve it. But here's an example, right? Would you get paid more as a video game developer or working as cybersecurity in a big company? You know? Of course, they're gonna go towards like a coding opportunity on a bigger company, and get more money that way. They're not gonna keep working for EA or Activision. So a lot of it was really because they had better opportunities, which thank God they deserve it. But unfortunately, no one good replaced them. That's the other issue. But yeah, you're right, ICP. Yeah, basically you're right. They're gone. Like the same Rocksteady that made Batman, the Batman Arkham series, it's not the same Rocksteady. It's not. It's completely made out of different people that have no idea of what made the old Rocksteady good. That's a problem. Excuse me. Superbra says depends. Depends on what? Huh? Depends on what, you little rascal. What does it depend on, huh? Answer me! Answer me or I'm gonna cry, bro. I'm gonna cry. Nah, but yeah. So it's sad, but yeah, we just don't have anybody that, or don't even care too, because they'd rather, give you some DEI BS really instead of actually giving you a proper sequel to that game. It's unfortunate. It's rather unfortunate. If the money trickles down, which thank God it has been trickling down for AAA developers, which thank God they deserve it. They've been giving us $80, $70 games for no reason. you know, Even Nintendo, which I really thought that they were not going to do that. Like I thought Nintendo with the Switch 2 was going to go to $70, but them trying to go $80 with Mario Kart World was very concerning to me. It really was. And you know that more games are going to do that. Unfortunately, it's not going to be just one game or two games or four games. No, it's gonna be more, man. Especially third-party developers, they're definitely gonna try to put out $80 games on the Switch too. Which, admittedly, because of the Switch 2, I don't think they're gonna get what is it? With the Switch 2, they're not going to they're not gonna get away with it because, admittedly, Nintendo could easily outshine them on that department. So that's where I will say, that could be good for third-party games on the Switch too. You know, like third-party games won't be able to get away with as much on Switch 2 than they can on Xbox and PlayStation, admittedly. Because let's just be honest here, why do you get a PS5 and Series X? Because of third-party games, right? But with Nintendo, it could be because of both, right? So third-party developers are kind of in war with Nintendo. I'm fine with that if you pay your employees Yeah, see, the funny thing is that they don't even care. They don't give a shit about any of that. It's like, oh, we're making $70 games, $80 games. Well, they're not doing it to pay their employees better or to make a better product. Absolutely not, my friend. They're not doing that. No, 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 no. They're just doing that because they think they can. That's it. You know? I mean, have you guys noticed that in the PS5 generation, we have seen more unoptimized games? You know what I mean? We have seen more trashy games, these live service games that they ditch after a year or two that they make you pay almost full price for. You know what I mean? And that's worth $70? No. No, I'm sorry. It's not. They're giving you more incomplete experiences than they ever have been. It's not good. It's not. I don't like it. Yeah. But honestly, it's like if they say that they're using that $80 or $70 to pay their employees better, they don't. Nintendo doesn't fire their people. I have noticed that. Yeah, yeah. Like Nintendo, even with especially with Iwata, God rest his soul, that guy was awesome. He didn't fire people. He took a pay cut for those people. He actually took a pay cut for people to not get fired. So yeah, yeah. No, no, no. Like Nintendo has always been the MVP when it comes to that. I agree. They have. You know, and it's like honestly, here's my recollection to that too. It's like like to Super Bra, I agree with that. It's like here's the thing: if there's anyone to be fired, it should be upper management. You know, why on earth are developers getting fired when sometimes it's not their fault? You know, they just made the game that management told them to make. You know, so it's like why are they getting fired? And you know what? If the developers get fired, so should the upper management because they're the ones who told them to go with that stupid idea. You know, like whoever told, whoever told like um our Arcane Studios at Microsoft to make Redfall, you guys deserve to get fired for that. Straight up, the upper management deserves to get fired for that. And the developers, like, there's no excuse for it to be that bad. Personally, there's no excuse for Redfall to be that bad, even if they had no experience making, live service games. It's like it's not like the gameplay was good and the game was or the loop was bad. No, no, the everything about Redfall was horrible. So it's like no, the upper management and Arcane Studios deserve to get fired for that. But unfortunately, it's just Arcane Studios. But yeah, overall, I agree, Super Bre. I agree. I totally agree. So yeah, who cares about this fucking crap gamer? Who really cares? Is there a video that you guys want me to react to? I'll be happy to react to any videos that you guys want me to. Yeah. Let me try to find something. Oh yeah, the Dreamcast guy. Right. Dream ass guy. See what he got. Yeah. Let's see. Whoa, dude! New leak about Final Fantasy IX remake is great. Actually, if it's an actual remake like Final Fantasy VII remake, I will agree. I will agree that that will be awesome. Yeah. Oh, you know what? Let's react to this. Let's react to this. I actually want to see that.
Hey there, Gamer Geek Jeff here. Today we're talking about the PlayStation 6 because here on the channel for the last couple months, we've been talking a lot about the PlayStation 6 leaks, whether it is the powers, the specs, the fact that there's actually going to be two separate PlayStation 6 consoles.
By the way, can you guys hear the video fine?
But this weekend,
Oh, sorry. Can you guys hear the video fine? I want to make sure, like, I want to get a yay or nay from my people.
There was a very big debate about the PlayStation 6, but specifically just one point. Delay it. Push it back. It's rumored to be coming here literally maybe in 2027. People are saying, I want to see it no sooner than 2030. This might be the first console generation that I've seen people.
Dude, I agree but disagree with this at the same time. It's like, okay, do you guys agree that we need to just artificially delay consoles because, developers can't get their shit together and release games for said platform, like said current platform, right? Like, so the reason why people don't want a PS6 right now is because the PS5 isn't being taken advantage of, which is valid. It is kind of valid. But it's like, at the same time, this is just sad what we're going through, It is. When it comes to consoles, I mean. I mean, there's worse things in the world obviously happening, but in the world of gaming, in the world of entertainment, this is sad. It is. Yes, so sorry, I said a lot of things. Do you agree that, we need to delay the PS5 or I'm sorry, the PS6, or do you not agree with that? Because me personally, I honestly don't know. Because look, I agree that we didn't really take advantage of the PS5, but I just say release the PS6 and take advantage of that instead. That's what I say, personally, you know? And the next Xbox, whatever it's going to be. Take the beating now. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, agreed. It's like take the beating now. It's a good way of putting it, super bruh. It is. It's true. Take the beating now. Yeah. Yeah. No, but like personally, they don't even need to take a beating. Personally, you could just take advantage of the PS6. That's always an option, right? It's like, bro. And then with the PS5, like make a lower spec version, you know? I mean, are we really gonna act like the PS6 and PS5 are gonna be that different from each other? Absolutely not. And if it is, it's gonna be like by a gimmick reason, right? So it's actually been said that the PS6 will have a portable version of it, right? That's the rumor, at least. That there's going to be a weaker PS6, a PS6 Pro, and a portable version of the PS6, which is the weaker PS6. And that's the rumor, right? I'm just like, okay, well, basically the weaker PS6 is going to be closer to the PS5, obviously. So it's like, why can't you just make your games around this weaker PS6 that also goes back to the portable, right? Like basically they're one and the same. And then obviously upscale it for the PS6 Pro or whatever model they're going to have. And then downscale it for the PS5. You know? I don't know.
Not excited about next gen, actually actively pushing against it, saying maybe the PlayStation 5 should be the end of PlayStation. Let's talk, because I think a lot of this comes down to potential, and honestly just that we're really hitting those graphical limits. When you were playing stuff on the PlayStation 1 and you started to think...
Okay, truth be told, do anyone really care about this whole graphical thing? You know? Because I personally don't. I think the problem is that games are not innovating with the hardware, right? That's my issue. Now, of course, I would love to have these realistic graphics with the best performance possible. We all should. We all should advocate for that. Because 2025. No, no, I want my crackhead PS6. Take your time. I want my crackhead PS6. Take your time. Yep, agreed. Agreed, super bro. But it's like, really though, personally, I just think that the oh, fuck, I don't even know what the hell I was thinking. Thanks a lot, super bro. All I know is that like, look, the like, I think the problem with the games on how they're being made today, is that it's not even about the graphics. I really feel like it's just about the work culture there, and people just rather make the game that they want without taking into any considerations of what the fans want. That's a problem, you know. Like take a look at just a lot of the modern games that come out today, right? a lot of them are not really. It does not seem like they're made for their fans. To me, it really seems like they're made to make a checklist, right? Oh, let's have this half-assed open world segment for no reason, you know? Let's have this stupid little mini game in there that no one's gonna care about for no reason. That's what I feel is happening. And it's just like, oh God. Uh, yeah, I don't know. I just don't feel like games are made around what they should be made around, you know? I don't. I mean, think about it, guys. We used to have games made around each console back in the day, right? So like when they made a game, they made it available for the, let's just say for the sixth generation, right? They made it available for the GameCube. They made it available for the PS2. They made it available for the Xbox, and they even made a completely separate version. By the way, that was usually the practice back then. A completely separate version for the PC. And then if they wanted to feel a little risky, they would make a Game Boy Advance version as well. How many consoles did they have to make that for, right? Now, of course, the GameCube, PS2, and Xbox versions will be similar. That doesn't mean that they just all willy-nilly ported it over. No, 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 no. They have to take advantage of each hardware to make that game happen. They had to. So, like, the GameCube version did not have the same architecture as the Xbox. You know what I mean? And the Xbox did not have the same architecture as the PS2. And the PS2 did not have the same architecture as the GameCube. You know what I mean? So it's like they have to make it basically around that whole thing. So, jeez. So yeah, it was kind of a not a mess, but it was pretty hard. But they did it. They did it though. Sorry, let's go back to the video.
About the PlayStation 2. Look at the graphical leap from Final Fantasy 7 to Final Fantasy 10, which came out relatively close together. These are generational leaps. I remember the first time I actually played Grand Theft Auto 4 on the PlayStation 3, it seemed photorealistic. Those early HD TVs, which kind of sucks compared to current 4K tech, those early HD TVs, seeing the game like...
Well, again, Dreamcast guy, the problem isn't the... Okay, the issue with gaming right now isn't the graphics, or the graphics are not, being, it being, outplayed by each other. The problem is what games are right now, you know? Like, okay, right now we should not have any sacrifice. If a game looks good, it should also play good. If it plays good, it should also look good. You know what I mean? It's like we live in 2025, guys. Come on, man. We have video game tools that are much easier to make a game. And these consoles, they don't have that different of architecture from each other than the Switch, obviously. But I'm just saying, the PS5 and Series X pretty much has the same architecture as a mid-range PC. You know what I mean? Something like that, or maybe not mid-range. I think like basically the 2060 or some shit, something like that. It's just like, okay, I don't know, man. Kind of feel like the PS6 should really look. I think the problem is not the hardware only. Actually, I think the PS5 and Series X are pretty fine hardware-wise. The problem is that we have the developers. The developers are not very good. Like I said before, I think the developers are the issue. They're not making good use of the hardware, right? So I think any game could look good now. Any game could look great. An open world game, a side scroller, whatever you want to say. The problem is that developers we have now, they're not talented, they're not creative, and they're a shadow of what we had before. And the funny thing is that they're doing that, but with the use of all this shit. I don't know, man. With the use of Unreal Engine and much more mainlined hardware. We're not getting the PS3. In terms of hardware. All these hardwares are very mainstream. They are. To be fair, I wish somebody would have told me Death Stranding was pretty much was pretty much Adventure Gear Solid. Yeah, that's actually pretty accurate. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, but that game has pretty good graphics, right? Yeah. Well, here's the thing though. With Death Stranding, you didn't really get that balance of reviewing, so I don't blame you, Superbra or Superbra. I don't blame you, because you had people either saying it's complete shit or it's like the best thing that they ever experienced, and it gave like 1 inch on their dick or something. So you had people praising it, and then you had people just completely shitting on it. So yeah, to be fair, yeah, you didn't really know what you were getting into. And plus, like Kojima kind of felt like he just wanted to make that game, unique for the sake of making it unique. So that too, that too. Let's see.
Infamous, there was so much PlayStation 3 of a graphical leap, and again with the PlayStation 4, it really does feel like we're starting to hit diminishing returns. Can you really make games look better? Can you really make games play better? Can you really make games that are better?
You don't need to make games look better. You just need to make them play better. And the PS5 and PS6 could very well do that. Again, I think like the PS5 and PS6 could run a open world game amazingly, personally. They will be able to do that. But we need to have good developers.
I don't think you can. I really am starting to get afraid that what if this is kind of the limits of gaming? Well, let's talk. I hope you have a great day, and if you could please...
There is no limits to gaming, if I'm being honest. Like, if I'm gonna be honest with all y'all, gaming is the best way to experience entertainment. You have music in there. You have cutscenes, which make up for movies. You have, and obviously you have all that to interact with. I think video games are the most amazing piece of entertainment. They are. They're better than movies, in my opinion. They're better than music. They're better than, TV shows. Because they could be all those things at once. Really. But again, the problem is that we don't have developers taking advantage of what video games could be. We don't. They're just making either a worse version of a game that you already liked, or they are just straight up making a clone of that game that you already like. Like, how many Dark Souls clones do we have, bro? How many Dark Souls clones do we have? It's getting embarrassing at this point. Come on, man. Come on. We need more Kingdom Hearts 2 clones.
Give this video a like and subscribe if you haven't already. Now I want to go through the leaks about what the PlayStation 6 is before we really dive into the debate, the anger, and why it feels like there were...
Hold on, I'm going to read this real quick. Oh, excuse me. So the PS6 is less than 2 years away. The PS6 is confirmed to be on their way. And then launching in 2027. I don't think there's anything wrong with that, personally. Fizzant, I don't know what the hell that is Kojima's new action, is like their new action espionage game. And it's one of the few PS6 titles we know about. Interesting. It's set to be a PlayStation exclusive title. That's also interesting. I thought they're going to also put on PC. It's still in early work and likely to be targeting the PS6. The potential 2023? 2030? Eee. Bro, if that's true, that's horrible. Okay, here's another problem with video games too. They take way too fucking long. Like, if I'm being honest, man. And then because when they release, they're not worth it. So it's like, bruh, you guys need to hurry, okay? You guys need to make games more effectively. Not hurry, I'm sorry. They need to make games more effectively. That's what developers need to do. For real.
So many viral posts this weekend saying, don't give me the PlayStation 6, even as PlayStation fans are literally saying, PlayStation 5 feels like it just got started. We are now 5 years into the console generation of the PS5, and you can name the amount of actual first-party banger exclusives on one hand easily.
No, you can't, because a lot of those games are on the PS4. And obviously they're on PC now, but the thing is that, like, no, you can't, because again, all those games that people say, oh my god, it's an amazing PS5 exclusive, it's not only on the PS5, it was also on the PS4. Ragnarok, God of War, Ragnarok, Spider-Man, maybe not 2, but Spider-Man, Miles Morales, that was also on the PS5. And then like, obviously now Ratchet and Clank is on the PC, and Spider-Man 2 is on the PC. So it's like, no, actually, you can't name any PS5 exclusive. Which, by the way, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. Sony just needs to focus on, making their hardware good. That's all. And I mean, like, stop making people pay for online. That's a no-no. They need to smack Sony on the wrist for that.
this even possible, PlayStation 6 is confirmed to be on the way and reportedly set to launch in the fall of 2027. There have also been some leaks that maybe it'll fall to like early or summer 2028, but even then, that's coming up incredibly close. We're literally 9 days away from freaking 2026. How wild, right? There's going to be some PlayStation exclusives that are apparently already in full-blown development, including Hideo Kojima's new stealth action game. Basically, he's making a new sort of a, I mean, there's no other way to say it. He's basically making a new Metal Gear Solid, right? But here's the other thing, right? This is clearly the other big push. So what they're trying to do right now is there's going to be a PlayStation 6 handheld. Think of it as like a Nintendo Switch 2, an extra
You know, here's a funny thing is like for the people who are excited about a, you know, PS6 portable or whatever, it's like, do you guys not know that there's portable options on PC? You know, and you're gonna be able to play these games eventually on PC. Let's just be honest, right? It's like, is there really a reason to own a PS6? You know, and I'm not saying that because, oh, it will not have exclusive. I don't care if a console has exclusives personally. It's like, to me, I care about how they play the game. And even though that Sony will have this portable, it's like, how many, right? How is it going to play? Like, obviously, you're going to have to pay for online still, right? That's a no-no for me. That's already a deal breaker. I can't, I don't want to pay for online. You know, I'd rather pay for games with that money, you know? So, no. Bad Sony.
juicy, extra big beefy handle. It is dockable, and apparently what they're trying to do is they're currently making a bunch of developers work on the power-saving mode of the PlayStation 5. Essentially, here's a way to play your game with the lowest power usage so it can be played portably. Apparently, this is literally going to be a portable PS5. I'm almost in the camp where I don't even care about having a PlayStation 6 as much as I guess I'd just like to have the idea of playing an actual native, non-streamed portable PS5. But here's the tweet that really peaked.
Oh yeah, the best thing they got was a PlayStation Portal. Lol.
Look at this. This came out December 19th, so it came out Friday night. Look at this.
Which, by the way, I want to be on record saying that there's no reason why Sony did not make a PS4 portable. There's no reason why Sony did not make a PS4 portable. Yeah, that was a bad call.
17,000 likes for saying nobody cares about the PlayStation 6 for now. Sony should not even tease it for several years. I think the PS5 can be done until 2030 without issues. Give me more PS5. Don't give me the PS6 for a long time. Now, what's interesting is that this is Pio. Pio is
Give me more PS5. You know what? I mean, he's not wrong because again, they didn't exactly take advantage of the PS5, but oh well, too bad. You know, too bad. I don't want. Just move on to the PS6 already. You know, to me, it's already too late. You know, so if they're gonna take advantage of a console, just take advantage of the PS6. I'm tired. I mean, obviously just downscale it for the PS5. I'm not saying ignore it, because I'd be stupid. But it's like just make the game around the PS6, right, and then downscale it for the PS5. That's it.
honestly one of the biggest, craziest, most exuberant PlayStation fans on Twitter. I mean, this guy literally has videos ripping open PlayStation boxes with his teeth. This guy loves it. Now, some people are mad at Pio specifically for saying this, saying if they release the PlayStation 6, you'll still buy a Sony pony. I think what he's saying is that for the health of PlayStation, it does feel like in a way they're just trying to treat this like a normal generation when it's not. We had crazy console shortages for the first couple of years of the PS5. Development was clearly extremely delayed. We only really started getting first.
Yeah, like development was delayed because again, we have people valuing the wrong thing in games. You know, like we did not need a hyper realistic ass crack of civilian number 54. You know what I mean? Like we didn't need that in this open world game. That's a problem. It's like they value the wrong things in video games first, right? It's like add that shit later. I don't care. But it's like you don't need to add that during the game development. You don't. You could add it after the game is done and you could polish it. That's what polishing is for, right? Crazy. Very crazy.
Exclusives in 2023. We're really only about 3 years into what was clearly intended to be like a 7-year generation.
And here's another problem. We're not seeing developers utilizing their own engines, their own video games in general, right? So when a developer makes, like, say, Call of Duty, for some reason, I feel like they do this shit where they do a lot more work with the next Call of Duty than they really should. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, they have the same guns and everything, but I feel like they take, you know, a certain aspect of the engine and then modify it in a way where they didn't need to in order to, and then they delay it because of that. That doesn't need to happen. It doesn't. That's another problem with modern gaming is that, well, modern game development is that they're doing a lot more than they really should. Instead of making a perfect game and then, with your future game, taking what you made from the perfect game and just modifying it to make it into a different game. That's what people should do. That's what, like Warner Brothers did with the Arkham series. They recycled that game, like that gameplay loop, sorry, with multiple games, not just Batman. They did it with Shadow of Mordor. They also did it with Mad Max. They also did it with the sequel to Shadow of Mordor. It's like, bro, they were geniuses too because they made it different enough for it to be its own game. But it's, it's the Batman. But they took the Batman Arkham, stuff and just put different mechanics in it. It's genius. That's how you make, more games. So.
PS5 do not give you PS6 for a long time. Now, people are going to say PS6 won't offer anything more than the current PS5 gen. It's already got super fast, solid state drive. It'll take years until we get anything truly next gen. For me, it's better to wait to get most of the PS5 when the PS.
We don't need to get anything truly next gen. Just, again, take advantage of better hardware. That's all. Like, we're still getting PS4 caliber games, people. That's sad. When the PS4 launched, it was dated. It was considered dated.
6 comes, all they can do is make it a good upgrade and there's portable. You can buy a home console or a hybrid device. That, I feel, is the new way. Look at this. PlayStation 5 Pro has enough power to last until 2028, 2029. It'll also give the PS5 a longer tail.
No, it doesn't, because you're not going to use the PS5 Pro only. No, it does not have... Do you see the problem here, people? People want, the PS5 to last until 2028. Dude, the PS5 is already dated. I don't want the PS5. I don't want them to focus on the PS5. I mean, I guess it won't be the end of the world, but, just downscale for the PS5, like I said throughout this video. I'm sure you guys are sick of it. Damn.
I really don't think the PS6 launches in 2027. RAM shortages will, of course, be why. Anything after 2028 is perfect. Now, we're going to come back to this in a second. There is definitely a lot of talk that if for some reason...
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the whole RAM shortage shit.
We sort of rush a PlayStation 6, we're easily going to see a $1,200 console. I mean, I'm literally in that camp. People are already sort of talking about the leaked specs and what it would cost with current day tech. If this thing comes out...
Yup, true. And then at that point, guys, just go to PC Gaming. Go to PC Gaming at that point. There's no reason to buy a fucking console for more than $1,200. No fucking reason. Or, no, there's not a reason to buy a console for more than $500, personally, to me.
No way it's going to cost less than $1,000, and who's actually going to buy it? Do you remember the conversation when it was literally the $600 PlayStation 3? Do you know how bad that sold? Literally, even just that. What the heck? You're trying to make something that, even adjusted for inflation is like double the price.
I know, isn't that sad? We like booed at a $600 PS3. And now look what consoles and hardware have become. It's sad. It's really sad. And you know what? I'm gonna go out on a limb and say the PS3 was actually worth that fucking price. It was. The only problem is I didn't have games. I'm just saying technically it is worth that price. It was. You could play PS1 through 3 games, with the first model. You could put Linux on it. You could download music, movies, video games. At the same time, you could also play DVDs and Blu-rays. Yeah, it had a fuck ton of things for you to do.
PlayStation 6 anytime soon. The PS5 generation really only started in 2023 due to lockdowns delaying the generational jump by years. We've barely scratched the surface of what the PS5 can do. Most games are still cross-gen. Give PS5 another 5 years. Look at this. Look at this. 5,000 likes. So I think a lot of it comes down to the fact that there is definitely something about...
That's a lot.
Optimization. A lot of developers talk about the fact that it's not just about the raw tech inside of it, not just about the amount of power, not just about the amount of graphics and stuff. It is about that optimization. Okay, we have years with the toolkit. We get better at actually making everything run smoothly. There's all these secret tips and tricks to working on a particular console so it runs better and better and better. And it feels kind of undeniable, especially in 2025. I mean, these are all 2025 games. Like, just holy heck, Death Stranding 2 and Ghost of Yotei were so absolutely gorgeous. But the fact that just now we're starting to get games that actually finally look better than PlayStation 4 Pro games, right? We're finally getting games that actually looks next gen 5 years into the console cycle.
Yeah, and the problem is that game is mid as fuck too. Yeah, like, so if we're finally getting PS5 games, but they're mid as hell, like Ghost of Yotei, dude, I mean, mainstream gaming is fucked. It is. But gaming in general isn't. You guys should really see a lot of the colorful games that come out on Steam. Like, I'm telling you, man, PC is the way to go. PC and mobile, I think. Like, if you got more of a casual playthrough, I think mobile's great for you. If you want more of a hardcore, like games and like and the whole shebang, PC, of course. The PC is the most definitive gaming platform, I would say. And portable wise, I think mobile phones are the most definitive.
I think this is a sign that finally they're getting good at the tech. Historically, this has happened in every single console generation. If you look at something from the beginning of Xbox 360 and the end of Xbox 360, look at that graphical leap. This isn't that they suddenly discovered more RAM.
That's true. Holy shit, that is a huge leap. Damn. I mean, of course, the one on the left is more stylized, but fuck.
It's that they get better with the hardware. Even look at this. This is where the generational leap, right? Metal Gear Solid 1, which was the end of PlayStation 1, and Metal Gear Solid 2, the beginning of the PlayStation 3. These came out 3 years apart, and they're completely generational. I do think that the
Damn. Damn. I mean, obviously, we can't have that generational leap, though. We can't. It's just, like, kind of technically impossible right now. But again, I feel like, I really do feel like that, like, with what you could do, you'll be able to tell. You know what I mean? Like, that's what next-gen gaming should be. It's like, oh, here's an here's an open world game on the PS5 versus the one on the PS6. The one with the PS6, you could fucking traverse in and out of buildings, and like, and it could be very realistic. Like you break through glass, you slide through the terrain, whatever, right? And you make shit in the background fly around, and it doesn't drop the performance, or it obviously like, it'll be a little bit of an issue, but but it won't be game breaking, right? And then on the PS5, you have this game where it cannot do any of that, like any of that without chugging on the frame rates. You know what I mean? So it's like the PS6 caliber of hardware should be like you're able to breathe and live that world. That's what it should be. And that's the hardware difference, It doesn't have to be graphically. So that's a problem with modern gamers, I guess.
argument against the PlayStation 6 is the fact that have we really figured out everything possible with the PlayStation 5? I'm almost in that camp, and I know I've said this before. I want gaming to be cheap. I want gaming to be affordable. Like, as a kid that grew up
Not gonna happen. At least not mainstream gaming. It's not gonna happen, bro.
broke as a kid, literally digging through discount bins for crappy random games that kind of sucked but were still fun to play. I want gaming to be as cheap and as accessible as possible. I don't care about all the
Well, you're living a pipe dream. Like I said, it's not gonna happen. If the Switch 2 isn't even doing, like anti-consumer shit like that, you're done. No, we're cooked with modern gaming. I'm telling you guys, we're done.
free to play. There's something to play. There's free to play games. I don't care about Fortnite patches and stuff. I want cool, good.
Hey, don't you disrespect my free-to-play games. Yeah, I like free-to-play games personally. It's like we have games that are $70 that don't even have the content that free-to-play games have. Come on now. Come on now.
Single player stories that are affordable, fantastic, and good to look at, right? And I almost feel like the longer the PlayStation 5 goes on, the prices have to go down. We have to get down to a $300 console someday, right? Maybe I'm just huffing that copium.
Yeah, you are huffing that copium, bro. You are. Because why would they do that? Right? Think about it. You think Xbox is gonna do that anymore? Fuck no. They ain't gonna do that. Because they know that they stand no chance against PlayStation and Nintendo now. So what they're going to do is that they're going to try to put their games on those consoles, meanwhile probably trying to rip people off with the hardware. That's exactly what they're going to do. You know how I know this? Because they would have done that with the Xbox Ally. It would have been fucking what? There would have been a $300 model and then a $600 model. Absolutely. That didn't happen.
The price is going up and up and up. PlayStation price is going up. Oh, PlayStation Pro console. Now you have to buy the
Right, and here's the problem too. Even if hardware does go down, the services won't. Like you having to play your game? Nah. That shit you're still gonna have to pay for your fucking online. So bleh. Anyways, I think I'm about done now. Please be sure to, give your boy some support, and it was nice really talking to you guys. It was. I really do appreciate it. And yeah. Oh, wait, I thought everyone left. Okay. Never mind. We'll finish this video then.
The disk drive set, right? You need an expansion port so you have even more hard drive space. Oh, you need PlayStation Plus. Oh no, PlayStation Plus got a price increase. I feel like I'm in the camp
Yup.
where I'm excited about
Yup.
the idea of the portable PlayStation 6, but at the same time, I can't pretend as if the PS5 feels incredibly unfinished. We still don't even have themes. We barely have folders on the PS5.
We don't need the PS5 to be finished. Just move on to the 6, bro.
How can I really truly get excited about next gen when we know technologically next gen ain't ready for us? So let's talk about the elephant in the room, right? So everybody is saying give me 6 more years of PS5, and a lot of that comes down to the fact that there's about
No, why would any stop wanting more of the PS5? It failed. It's not that good of a piece of hardware, obviously. I mean, it is, but it isn't, right? It's like, why would you want to wait for more shit to be to utilize the PS5? Why? Why? No. Just move on to the PS6, man.
about to be extreme shortages for very likely years and years to come, if not forever. People are saying the AI bubble may pop, but right now AI is literally making so many trillions of dollars, or has so many trillions of dollars invested into it. AI companies are buying all the RAM, all the tech on the planet to put it into their AI factories. Look at this. You can blame AI for this. Gaming is about to be a lot more expensive. Next gen Xbox, PS5 might just be cooked. They're already saying that right now they're saying we're going to be buying every piece of RAM in the world until at least 2026. If this continues, if somehow the AI bubble doesn't pop by 2028, I mean, very easily the PlayStation 6 could cost literally thousands of dollars. And what extra sucks about this
Yeah, that's when you know consoles are done.
is that whenever you talk about PC gaming versus console gaming, I feel like that talk has really fizzled out. And I think a lot of it is the fact that used to, PC gaming was an interesting entry point. You build your own custom PC with maybe
Yeah, yeah, exactly. It was no. I'm sorry. Consoles were the good introduction to gaming. They were. Consoles were actually the one that were the cheaper ones that had great games and free online, except for the original Xbox, obviously. But the consoles were actually the good ones to get into gaming with. Now they're not. PCs are.
last gen
More specifically, like Steam Decks, portable PCs, laptops, stuff like that.
parts. You get something a generation or two behind for dirt cheap, and then you put it together and you go, okay, this thing still has really good graphics. It's got a lot of customization. I can mod it. I can get cheap Steam games, and then later on you can upgrade it piece by piece. Whereas with consoles, you pay a big upfront cost and it's just ready to go, right? But I always thought that now we're in this bad spot where consoles are getting more expensive and PCs are getting way more expensive. I mean, I have a friend who recently bought a $3,000
Yeah, but again, you don't need the top of the line PC. That's the thing. It's like consoles, you're forced to buy whatever they put in the box. You know? So, yeah, PC is not even that big of an issue, really, in terms of price. Not to mention that, people will make better pieces of RAM. They will. For PC, absolutely. Or even consoles, maybe. Who knows? But, yeah, when it comes to PC, you're going to get better alternatives. Trust me.
PC, just basically trying to buy the parts of it, and it's not even really that crazy. I think that we're going to get into a spot that's kind of scary. There is some rumors that maybe they're going to start releasing
No, hold like Braveheart, Super Bro. No, hold like Braveheart. Yeah, true, huh? You know what? Yeah, everything is gonna die. Consoles, gaming, the bitches, everything is gonna die.
consoles or even phones with less RAM in it. Next gen phones may actually have less RAM in it to sort of compensate for this global shortage. If we thought
Man, I'm so happy I have my modern phone, my iPhone, bro. At this point, I'm thinking about getting one of the Galaxy Folds too, but I'll see.
the PS5 shortages were bad at launch, buddy, buckle up because it's about to be 10 times worse when it comes to the PlayStation 6 if they rush this out. This has just been some off-the-cuff thoughts. I feel like I'm very much in the camp where I'm not even saying that I'm anti-PlayStation 6. I'm saying PlayStation 6 just cannot be ready. I'm purely on the train that at this point, if they showed a trailer and came out here and had like
Why not? Again, the PS5 and PS6 are not going to be that different in terms of hardware, really. Not that huge of a leap. I think it should be like, what you're able to do with the PS6 should be more, but that's about it, really. Whatever.
Mark started talking about the future of PlayStation, showing a PlayStation 6 logo. People are not going to care. People are so broke at this point. Like we're happy when we get a good $60 experience. I'm not wanting to hear about $80 or $100.
Well, here's the problem, right? The biggest problem to me, what happened to console gaming is that console players and console fanboys tried to be PC guys. So, like, what do I mean by that? Do you guys remember the arguments back in the PS5 and Xbox One era, where they were like arguing like, oh my God, look, the PS5 runs this game slightly, or I'm sorry, the PS4 runs this game slightly better, blah blah blah, right? You guys saw that, right? It's just like, why do you guys care? Why are you acting like this small little shitty victory is like why you buy a console? No. You like I don't know, man. Why are why were console dudes so focused on the stupid little specs? And now like you even have like the Nintendo fanboys, not you guys, but Nintendo fanboys like getting into that shit. It's like you guys are not PC dudes. Stop acting like you're PC dudes. You know? For real. Damn. Like now we got Nintendo dudes acting like PC dudes. It's just kind of crazy, you know? Damn. So the problem is that like instead of valuing the console for what it has, they're valuing like the wrong things only. Only, I mean. Obviously you should be happy. The console guys know we but the console guys know we but I mean you don't even have to know about like anything or whatever to enjoy console games. I'm just saying like I think you should enjoy consoles for what they offer, right? In terms of pricing, games, um, what should we call it? And then the hardware should be noticeable. Like even a blind person should be able to see the difference of what the hardware should do, whether it's graphically or what you're able to do in the game. You know what I mean? So you console dudes, you don't even need to be like super knowledgeable on tech and stuff like that in order to enjoy your console. Obviously, right? It's stupid. But that's what these fanboys are trying to make it about. They're trying to make it about, oh well the PS6 has the SSD and whatever. What? How does that impact your game, bro? It just makes your loading time slightly faster. Cool. Good for you. The hell? My God, I don't know, man. It's just like, yeah, console dudes just tried way too hard to be PC guys, and it's just like, you're not. You're not PC guys, you know? And again, you don't need to be. That's the funny part. It's like, but they wanted to be. Uh, but it's like, if you wanted to be PC guys, go on PC. Obviously, like people like you guys, right? You're enjoying your consoles for a reason, and there are valid reasons to enjoy a console. But I mean, not modern consoles, but you guys know what I mean. It's like again, even with the Switch 2, I want to play certain games I don't want to play on PC. You know, because like on my PC I have so many other games to play. But with the Switch 2, I have a opportunity to experience games, on that platform because there's not really much. So say if I want to, play if I'm in the mood to play the Switch 2. Well, the Switch 2 has like a small selection of games, but they have games that I'm curious to try out on it because it's a Switch 2, you know. And I don't have that curiosity with the PC. I pretty much know. I know the experience that I'm going to get with the PC. See, like, that's the thing. Like, I want to play Chronos on the Switch. I'm old, man. I come home, turn on the game. Exactly. No, that's all you need to do. You don't need to be old or young or whatever to do that. You know what I mean? It's like, that's how you should think about it. Console was made for simplicity anyways, so you could say that you're low IQ or whatever, but you don't need to be high IQ to enjoy a console, you know? And hell, if I'm being honest, nowadays you don't even need to be high IQ to enjoy the PC. So, not anymore. But yeah. But yeah, I don't know. These console dudes, these console fanboys, they lost what made consoles, fun and great and unique. You know, like let's just say, look at the seventh generation of consoles: the Wii, PS3, 360, PSP, DS. Right? Look at those amazing consoles that had their own, like their own library of games. And you know why, right? Each game was made around the console. And you did not need to be a technical genius to understand why this game was on the DS or this game was on the Wii, this game was on the PS3. You didn't need that. The console spoke for itself. And that's the thing. We're missing that. We're missing that, with consoles. But with something like the next Playground, that new console that outperformed everyone on Black Friday, that console kind of had that was like one of the few consoles that released recently that has that uniqueness to it. And I appreciate it. It's kind of sad that I'm looking at this, Kinect clone as a unique console, but it happened, it's better than, not offering anything new at all. And then we also have the Playdate, if you guys heard of that too. That's also a little console that has some gimmicks. All right. Anyways, I don't want to bore you guys, so I think I'm gonna hop off right now. And thank you guys for tuning into the chat. Thank you guys for talking, especially you, Super Bruh. You really filled up the comments here. But I love all you guys. This was really fun, and I want to do this again tomorrow, hopefully. Possibly around the same time too. But I probably shouldn't. I should do it a little bit earlier. Yeah, it's like I should have not done this. Not this late. But yeah. So please sure to kiss a cat. I don't know. I was hoping that the Steam console was cheap. It's not confirmed if it will be, but that's the problem though, right? Yeah, I agree, Super Bro. It's like the fact that Valve isn't saying anything about it is kind of concerning. I'm not gonna lie. It's it's very yeah. I agree with you though. Like they're not saying that's not cheap either, right? So I don't blame you for having that sentiment. But yeah, thank you, man. It was good talking to you too. I'll see you.